online yesterday, and I was embarrassed, to be honest. This ain't the first time the EA has done this. The John Curry text messages, that's one thing. You know, that could be him joking around, whatever. Yeah, I want to go to Hawaii. Ha ha, funny, funny. The Lane Kiffin exchange was downright disgusting and embarrassing. The posting of it was embarrassing. And I really hate to comment on it because it was a teammate of mine. We both in this business here in Knoxville. But if Ainge thinks he's going to call Coach Fulmer to offer his opinion on Hugh Freeze and think Coach Fulmer should even give a damn, he needs to sit down somewhere. If anybody should be gracious for the opportunities, it should be Ainge. And to speak on Hugh Freeze in that manner is really just baffling to me. Bro, you a former player. You ain't the AD. Take a seat. You ain't the AD, man. Like, it ain't about you. Like, it ain't about you. And I hope he was joking around. I really do. I really hope he was joking. Because Ainge gets like that, gets to joking and stuff like that, and starts saying stupid stuff. I hope he was joking. But if he was serious, like, dude, shut up. You know what? You played your games. You did your thing. We do radio, bro. That's what we do. We ain't the AD. We ain't the coach. We do radio. Our time is done. No, we help Tennessee by carrying ourselves in a certain type of way. We help here and there when we can, but we not.
You know what? The holiday season reminds me of SEC football. You need touchdowns over turnovers. So let me tell you about my friends who are ready to help. Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union is ready to help you make this holiday season special for you and your family. They offer a special holiday loan at a very low interest rate and affordable payment to help you make those purchases for your family this holiday season. Oh, I get it. You're going all out this year. You're going to get that car, that boat, motorcycle, or camper for that special someone in your life. Alcoa 10 has the lowest interest rates around. They have money ready to lend you to help you make this holiday season one you would never forget. The process is fast, easy, and painless. and the decisions are made local, so you gotta give the loan experts at Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union a call, 865-977-3118, or check them out and apply online, atfcu.com. Better rates, better service, Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong. ATFCU is an equal housing lender. When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain Event.
Guess what time it is? My time. You can check your iPhone. Better say it's our time.
With your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End BBQ.
Give me 2 pounds and a Rick Flair.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 8:50 a.m., 100.9 FM, Rocky Top Sports, Swain Event, fueled by Dead End BBQ. Top 100 barbecue restaurant in America, 865-200-5503 is our telephone number to the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. We are live in the studios of the Low T Center. Ben McKee, Charlie Burris, Jason Swain here with you. Man, we got a few days until Christmas, so we're getting in the spirit here in the studio. Got the Christmas tree lit because it is lit. Yeah. Woo! Boy. Did you get that? Y'all get that? Huh? Oh, man, went over your head. Whatever. 865-200-5503, B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Hope you're having a great Tuesday morning. Get your butt up. Get the cold crust sleep out of your eyes. Brush your teeth, get ready to dominate today because that's what we're planning to do at least between 7 and 10. No guarantees at 10:01. Anything might happen. Ben, Charlie, good morning, individuals.
Good morning. How we doing?
Good morning, individuals. Just over here reading about the number 3 ranked team in the country. And no, we're not talking about the Tennessee football team. We're talking about the Tennessee basketball team, and not the Lady Vols either. The men's team is number 3. It's highest ranking since 2008.
I know I should be hyped, but I told y'all.
I'm going to throw these scissors at you if you're not.
They should be number 2. It came out, and I said, I knew it. I knew they weren't going to be number 2 like they should be. Going to be disrespected. And that is how Rick Barnes needs to motivate this basketball team. He said, we should be number 2.
That's right.
They disrespected us, and we're number 3.
That's right.
What are you going to do about that?
That's how you do it right there, Charlie. That's right, man. If I'm Rick Barnes, Admiral Schofield, I mean, what kind of game was that? That's the best you can do. You only got 30 points.
And you weren't even good in the first half.
I mean, you stunk it up in the first half, Admiral. I mean, it's like you did all right. I mean, National Player of the Year. Why can't you be the World's Player of the Year, Admiral? What about the Universe Player of the Year, huh? Don't satisfy Admiral Schofield. You can be the Universe Player of the Week. How about that? 30 points. Oh, man. You call that a performance? 35 points should be your next goal. And that's what Rick Barnes does, man, finding new ways to motivate his team and raise the bar over and over and over. And that's what a coach does. Speaking of coaches, man, what were we thinking this time last year, probably about 13 months ago, maybe 12 and a half months ago, and all this talk about John Gruden coming to Tennessee, John Gruden trolling Tennessee fans by coming to the games, could have sat in the box but decided not to sit in the box because he wanted to be seen, and called people to insinuate that he may be developing a college staff, and in the same breath call other people and tell them that he's not coaching in college. I mean, literally talking out of both sides of his neck. This was what was going on. And then John Gruden decides to, I mean, how do you turn this down anyways? Decides to get back into coaching, getting a $100 million deal with the LA Raiders, or the Oakland Raiders, soon to be the Las Vegas Raiders. That was weird to say. But how do you turn down $100 million to coach? And he takes the job with the Oakland Raiders. And he's been absolutely trash and garbage. And so that was one thing. But then it just got real. Because the fake VFL, and that's what I'm calling John Gruden, he's a fake VFL. He's not a real VFL. He's a fake VFL. He's a wannabe VFL. He's not a real VFL. The real VFL is a gentleman who just got fired, and that is Reggie McKenzie, the real VFL. And the real VFL, according to ESPN, between the years of 2012 and 2017, had 44 draft picks. 11 of those draft picks was cut or traded by John Gruden, including Khalil Mack, thank you very much, Amari Cooper, who had 3 touchdowns last week, balling. Only 3 of those picks by Reggie McKenzie now playing for the Raiders as a starter. As I recall, the Raiders were in the playoffs a couple years ago. I want to say had a 12-4 or 13-3 regular season record.
And then that was the year that
12-4, yep.
Derek Carr
got hurt.
Tore his knee up, I believe.
Got hurt. That was the year.
I believe Reggie McKenzie won Executive of the Year in the NFL.
I think that was 2 years ago.
I mean, that wasn't too long
2016, yep.
Wasn't too long ago. And here comes John Gruden coming in here, messing it all up. And I remember Charles used to call in during the whole Gruden mania, and he would say, I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want him. He can't coach. He can't coach. Made a mess of himself in Tampa Bay. You can't give him control of a roster. He did that with Tony Dungy's players. And I remember saying, I mean, at college, he at least would get some recruits, because recruits would probably love to come play for him. And, I mean, recruiting is just half of the battle. What a mess in Oakland. What a mess.
Whoa.
Fake VFL, Gruden firing our boy, the real VFL, Reggie McKenzie.
Reggie McKenzie gets blamed for everything, but he built 2 playoff teams this year with the Browns, or not the Browns, but the Cowboys and the Bears.
Yeah.
Sure did. Thank you, man. Thank you, Reggie.
I just don't understand this new aged philosophy of tanking, because that is 100% what the Raiders and John Gruden are doing. It rarely works. How are the Phoenix Suns doing right now with the top 5 pick every single year?
Now, it does sometimes pay off.
The
Look at
76ers. That's it. How long has it taken the Browns?
The Browns, well, they're not back.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's my point.
So it has never happened.
They have a chance to win 7 games this season, and that would be a phenomenal accomplishment. But the Browns tanked there for a while, had a top draft pick year after year after year after year. And like you just said, Charlie, they're still not back. And then you even look at the Marlins. I can go baseball on you. They traded Christian Yelich last offseason, who won NL MVP and was just phenomenal down the stretch for the Brewers. They traded Giancarlo Stanton to the Yankees, who had a fairly solid season. They traded Marcell Ozuna to the St. Louis Cardinals. And then they got rid of several other smaller players, and now look at them. they're terrible and will be for the next several years. I just don't understand this new age thinking of tanking because outside of the 76ers, who has it worked for?
I mean,
and the Cubs. I'll say the Cubs. It worked for the Cubs.
It seems like the thing now where GMs are the most successful are the guys who are truly great at scouting. I mean, that's where you really find your success, it seems. Yeah, tanking is not the way to go. I mean, I look at like the Nashville Predators. They have a guy who's legendary at scouting players. They're right now, first, second, third best team in the league and have been for about 2 full years now. And, that's really where you have to go. But tanking, for whatever reason, seems to be what's popular. Probably because it's easy. It's the easiest thing to do. Scouting is really hard. Being really good at scouting, it takes a touch that not everybody has.
It just bugs me when teams are a piece or two away and they just completely
blow it up.
Like the Atlanta Braves are a prime example for me. It bothered me how the Braves blew everything up. I guess it was 2012 or so, just because they couldn't take that next step with the Dan Uggla, the B.J. Upton, the Justin Upton, that kind of squad with Freeman and Hayward and those guys. You were a piece or two away in the bullpen in the starting rotation from potentially winning a World Series. Instead, you blow the entire ship up. And what have the Braves done since?
Crickets.
Fake VFL versus the real VFL. John Gruden, Reggie McKenzie, and wish the best to the real VFL, Reggie McKenzie.
Oh, he's going to bounce back.
He's fine. We all know the deal, and that's John Gruden. He's the common denominator here. That's why I root for 2 teams in the league, my Chicago Bears and any team who plays the Raiders. And I was rooting for the Steelers last week, but they blew it.
No, you weren't.
Because they stink. That's right. I said it. They stink. Golly, man. I was 1-1 over the weekend last weekend because the Steelers blew it against a team who's trying to tank. Oh, my goodness.
Terrible.
865-200-5503, B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. Ben, I know you want to say something, but you can't. You got to just take it. Just take the L. Be right back.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain Event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End BBQ has a new slew of daily specials for the fall. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the Smokehouse Stew, barbecue cheddar meatloaf, or the smoked turkey and dressing, which includes sliced smoked turkey and cornbread dressing paired with sautéed Brussels sprouts, mashed potatoes, and a side of turkey gravy. While Dead End offers a different specialty meal each day, you can get their hillbilly chili every day. There is always something new at Dead End BBQ. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End BBQ. The fall flavor search is over.
Do you want a custom-themed tumbler or bottle to show off your team spirit every day of the week? Well, look no further than Game Time Sidekicks. Every design has you, the fan, in mind. Their tumblers and bottles are double-walled, vacuum-insulated stainless steel, and their quality is second to none in the market. From stainless steel sippy cups to tumblers and sports bottles, Game Time Sidekicks offers something for the fan of all ages to rep their team with. They have many different logo options, so fans will have something they are proud to carry around all the time. Use promo code SWAIN at checkout to get 20% off of your entire purchase at GameTimeSidekicks.com. They also offer $5 flat rate shipping. Be sure to check out the Game Time Workshop on the website and customize your tumbler to make it one of a kind with things like your nickname, number, or initials. Game Time Sidekicks. Show your colors and carry your team.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do? We all should be responsible. But remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
You're listening to the Swain Event.
And you know this, man.
Eight 865-255-03 B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. This may be an unpopular opinion here, because I know how everyone wants an offense coordinator, and they wanted him like yesterday. But here we are. It is December the 11th. We are 2 weeks away from Christmas. And Tyson Helton probably already moved into a new house there in Kentucky. Probably has the offense already installed, has the staff already done probably, and we're still looking for a coordinator. The fact that Auburn hired a coordinator before Tennessee doesn't mean diddly poo. So, folks, calm down.
They hired a coordinator, and I put that in quotes because Gus Malzahn is the coordinator.
It's kind of like a Dwight Schrute situation.
Yes.
To where the guy from Memphis is not actually an offensive coordinator. He's an assistant
to the offensive
coordinator.
Yeah, pretty much. Calm down. Tennessee is not Auburn. Auburn's not Tennessee. We don't have a head coach that everyone wants to fire that calls plays. We're not in the same boat. We don't have the same situation. So pump the brakes on comparing our offensive coordinator hire with Auburn's. Everyone knows whoever's the coordinator is not going to coordinate any offense at all. He's not going to call plays. It is why Chip Lindsey crawled to Kansas. He crawled to Kansas. Leaving the SEC, he crawled to Kansas. So that's not a big deal. We've heard all these names from Hugh Freeze to Mike Charlie. Yursich.
Somebody.
Sitch.
Thank you to a listener. Thank you to a listener who sent in a video yesterday of him saying his own name.
Thank you.
Yursich.
There we go. We've heard all these names. And here we are. We are approaching early signing period. It's next week. You have one last weekend, which we'll talk about some of the visitors coming in town. But here we go with this search, and it's approaching early signing period. We got 3 more games left in the NFL season. And I'm leaning towards waiting and taking a hard look at 3 NFL coordinators. Number 1, Freddie Kitchens. He is the offensive coordinator of the Cleveland Browns. I am not overly confident that he would come to college, because if I was Freddie Kitchens, I wouldn't. He is attached to Baker Mayfield now. The same way Jim Bob Cooter was attached to Matthew Stafford after a coaching change, and Matthew Stafford started to play very well when Jim Bob took over the play calling, and that got Jim Bob 4 years, something like that, and really helped his career. If I'm Freddie Kitchens, the Browns right now are playing some good football.
That is such a weird sentence.
Under Greg Williams, at one point was suspended from the league because of Bountygate during his time with the Saints. If I'm the Browns, I take a hard look at making Greg Williams the coach moving forward. But that makes too much sense. They'll probably mess it up. But if I'm Pruitt and
your doesn't work out at Oklahoma State, then I would talk to these NFL coordinators. I would talk to Freddie Kitchens. I would talk to Jim Bob Cooter. And I would talk to, you ready for it? Ben doesn't like it, but I like it. Here we go. I would talk to Steve Sarkisian. I would talk to these three coordinators if I'm Jeremy Pruitt. Because you're talking about the NFL being all about X's and O's, all about matchups and creating matchups and schemes. You get a guy that's what he does 100% of the time. Out of the three, I like Steve Sarkisian the most because he has experience coaching at college, and he had a lot of success during his time at USC. Understand his alcohol problems. There's a head coach at Washington and at USC. The Falcons have not had a great offensive year, but he's done it before. And he may just need a change of scenery. But those are three NFL coordinators that I would talk to. The Lions are not going to the playoffs. Let me say that again. The Lions are not going to the playoffs. Oh man. Whew, that's funny. The Falcons are not going to the playoffs. Sorry, Stokes. 28-3, man. You guys up 28-3, lost Super Bowl. The Falcons are not going to the Super Bowl, and we know what the Browns are doing. So you got three guys that should be available at
the end of the month.
After these 3 weeks. But we want an offense coordinator right now. And I understand that. I get it. I understand it. I understand the frustration. Looking at the coaching search and hearing reports that it's done, but we're still interviewing folks. Like, I get it. I understand. But I'm more worried about right now getting the right guy rather than getting someone before Auburn or getting someone before Maryland or getting someone before a different school. We got to get the right guy. That's what's more important than anything else.
I mean, at a certain point, you're going to run out of competition. I guess you're really competing with FSU right now, and if I'm thinking correctly, that's really it. In terms of big schools with open OC position, in Alabama, although Alabama is Maryland,
Bama. Maryland, Bama, Florida State, probably right now.
Has it not been kind of assumed that Enos is going to be Bama's guy? I guess I've just been looking at it that way. Maybe that's not the case, but
you never know. Never know what might happen.
It's true.
You know, Nick Saban has adjusted. He has evolved, and he may make another move. Who knows? But he may hire from within with Dan Enos. But yes, Tennessee is looking for a coordinator at the same time as Florida State. And from what I heard, Kendall Browse did do a necessarily great job during the interview, Kendall Browse, and he wants to bring someone with him. You got to have a playbook. I mean, you can't be in an interview talking about how you just don't use a playbook. I mean, you got to have a playbook. And so doesn't look like it's going to be Browse. Doesn't look like it's going to be Mike Libby from Central Florida. It appears that we may be resetting again if Mike Yurcich does not take it or is not offered and not take it. So that's where we are right now. And we'll go to the phones before we take our bottom of the hour break. And who we have there with us this morning, Ben?
Andy.
We have Andy. Big weekend for recruiting, and I know Andy's excited. Andy, good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing this morning?
Good morning, individual Andy.
I just want to say thank you for kindly going on Twitter and trying to tell people not to be disrespectful to, like, Cooper Mays and so on, because I agree with you. If the kid wants to come, I mean, I'm all up for it. I mean, he seems like a really good kid. And I don't think we should disrespect any of them just because his brother went to Georgia. That's his mistake. You know what I told him this year when I was in Knoxville? I said, just go ahead and make that move and make your brother regret where he went. And that's why I left it at that. And he said, yes, sir. So I'm all up for Cooper coming. Another thing, I heard R.J. Henderson said that he's pretty sure Pruitt already has somebody in mind. That's very interesting.
That's all we've heard. We've heard that he got somebody in mind that's 95% done. Okay, if they say so.
Right.
If they say
I'm
so.
with you.
If you say so. Just because you tell me something don't mean I have to believe it.
Right.
We'll see. When they hire somebody and it's public, then I'll believe it's done. I don't think Cade made a mistake though, Andy, by going to Georgia. I mean, he made the best decision for him. I don't think it was a mistake. I think it was probably a really good decision for him to go be coached by the best offensive line coach, arguably in the country, and shy away from a coaching staff that really didn't have a lot of time to recruit him. He wasn't really comfortable with the new staff. And I hate to say this because I'm a Tennessee guy, but I don't think he made the wrong decision. It was his decision, and I understand where you're coming from, Andy, and I agree with you about the whole Cooper Mays situation. I mean, what was our record last year?
Terrible.
Last year, 4-8.
What was our record this year?
5-7.
Oh, huh. How many SEC games have we won the last 2 years?
2.
Huh. When was the last time we played in the SEC championship game?
07.
Huh. How many NFL draft picks have we had over the last couple of years?
Not very many.
Huh. Are we in any position to be telling folks who we don't want and who we want?
No.
I mean, that's the first thing that stands out to me. I'm sorry. We need offensive linemen. We need really good players. And I went on this rant yesterday to end the show. I don't want to do the same thing today, but 2014, I remember Butch Jones started this class with Vic Warden committing. And Vic Warden got with TK, and TK got with Jalen Hurd, and then the fans did a really great job on social media. They were instrumental. You may not think that, but it played a part for sure in recruiting. There's a lot of positive momentum. Social media definitely helped. The fan base definitely helped with that. And don't let that be a reason why we can't get players today. It just makes no sense. And I understand it's been so toxic here with our football program. Administration at times have not really shown you how committed they are to winning. They raise the ticket prices. The product is not great. I get that. But if you need to blow off some steam, go run around the block. Go do some push-ups. Go to the gym. Go punch a boxing bag or something like that, a punching bag. Don't punch a wall. That's just stupid. But go do something else instead of tweeting at a recruit that you don't want him because his brother didn't pick Tennessee. How stupid is that? It's just real stupid. You are a grown-up. Act like one. I'll move on. 865-250-503, B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Thank you, Andy, for the phone call. Really appreciate you. Andy, I know is geared up for the weekend because there's some more players coming in town. We had a big-time player over the weekend that was here. We will talk to Austin Price at 9:15 about some of the players that were here this past weekend and some of the players that will be here this weekend as Tennessee is nearing early signing day, December the 19th. Swain Events, fueled by Dead End BBQ, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. We're live on 850 AM, 100.9 FM, Rocky Top Sports. Don't go anywhere.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service.
broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries. You break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
Goes your car insurance. Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Beatty Chevrolet is celebrating 85 years of low prices. And during Truck Month, choose from over 400 trucks and SUVs, all deeply discounted. Like a new Silverado, now 25% off. A new Equinox, now 20% off. And a certified pre-owned 15 Equinox or Terrain, now $16,995. Plus, buy with confidence with the Beatty warranty for life.
Big selection and even bigger savings. That's why it's better at Beatty Chevrolet.
Stock number 232, savings off MSRP, include auto savings and manufacturer incentives with approved credit list finance through GMF. Offer expires 8/31/18.
When you're out running around shopping for all your holiday gatherings, don't forget to grab the Mrs. Grissom's. Mrs. Grissom's salads and cheese spreads are perfect when you need a delicious, easy meal and ready-to-eat containers the whole crowd will enjoy, like the Select Old-Fashioned Pimento Cheese or Cranberry Pecan Chicken Salad or the classic Mrs. Grissom's Ham Salad. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's. Find recipe ideas and coupons at mrsgrissoms.com.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain Event.
Around the SEC, powered by 42nd Street Marketing, your game-winning play call for design, marketing, and branding.
All right, gentlemen and ladies, it is time for Around the SEC. That is brought to you by 42nd Street Marketing, 865-200-5503. 42nd Street, the only company I trust my branding with. Call Mike at 865-382-7007. Again, that is 42nd Street, my go-to branding company. Logo design, website design, and print design. All right, Benjamin, where are we going today around the SEC?
We're going to Oxford because Greg Little, Ole Miss's offensive tackle, has declared for the NFL draft. I believe he was the #1 offensive tackle entering college 3 seasons ago. So that should be interesting to see if he can be a first-round draft pick. I believe he had a fairly solid season, so I didn't hear much about Ole Miss's offensive line this season, to be honest with you. But I do believe I saw some sentiment that Greg Little was one of the better tackles in the country throughout the season from Cole Kublik. So I imagine that he will be a first, second, early third-round draft pick. And then we'll top around the SEC off with the latest AP poll, because several SEC basketball teams are ranked. Tennessee is number 3. Beautiful, beautiful sight. Auburn is number 8. Mississippi State is number 18. Kentucky is somehow number 19. I do not believe they're a top 25 team at all right now. And One thing, side note, that I'm disappointed in, I'm disappointed that we don't get to see Tennessee and Auburn play until the very last game of the season. That, to me, is very disappointing. And not only that, but they only play once this season. Tennessee and Auburn should play twice this season. And, I guess hopefully they will. Maybe in the SEC tournament they'll meet back up. But in the regular season, I wish they were playing twice.
I think those schedules are planned out a while in advance, and I don't think anyone expected either of these teams to be as good as they've been. But I agree, it's definitely an oversight only having them play once this season, because that's such amazing exposure for the SEC to have 2 top 10 teams playing in league play. I mean, that's ACC stuff. That doesn't happen in the SEC almost at all, unless it's Florida and Kentucky. And so
we played both of those teams twice. There was a year where we only played, I want to say it was Kentucky. We only played them once one season. But
only played Florida once last year.
Yeah, so we get Kentucky twice and we get Florida twice, and they're down.
Yeah, because Kentucky, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt are Tennessee's permanent rivals that are recognized by the SEC.
Yeah.
So Kentucky, South Carolina, Vanderbilt are the only teams that we play twice a year for sure, which is a shame because I wish we played Florida.
Yeah.
So I see Florida more as a basketball rival than I do South Carolina.
For sure. Absolutely.
Let's kick teams while they're down. Who cares if they're hurt a little bit? Just like it's like when you go up against someone and you know that they're 50%, you don't feel bad for them. You pour it on even more.
You know what's a little bit satisfying, I will say, about Florida and Tennessee basketball? The Isaiah Stokes situation. He chooses Florida over Tennessee, and Tennessee becomes this monster. And he could have been here. I hope that Jarnell gives him a little bit of a hard time about
Stoke that fire, Isaiah.
Could have been us, but you was playing. All right, let's get to the phone lines, and let's get to Mark. Mark, good morning.
Swain, my brother, what's happening?
What's up?
Hey, man, I got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
This coaching search, if they already got their guy and it's 95%, why are they still interviewing folks? That just don't pass a smell test to me, bro.
I mean,
it smell that? Smells like poo. You know?
You smell what I'm cooking?
I mean, right? It's a little funky. It's a little funky, Mark. It's a little funky.
I mean, they ain't just throwing folks off off their trail. They ain't doing that.
It don't make a lot of sense, but hey, whatever. Just get the right guy.
But I do agree with you. Sark would be a good OC. I think that would be my pick out of the remainders. And I don't think he's long for Atlanta.
Yeah, I want Pruitt to have himself a head coach on the offense. That's what I want. I don't
want him to have somebody he don't have to worry about and turn it over.
Exactly. That's what I want. And if that's the NFL guy, then cool. The Oklahoma State OC, he's going to be a head coach someday. Maybe he's the right pick, but I don't want Pruitt to have to worry about offense. And I don't care if it takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. If you can find that guy, then that would be ideal.
There's no hurry, and I would really like to see him in the same spot that Coach Fulmer was in, where he had Chavez and what's the dude Cut.
Yeah.
And he had Cut, and he could just walk around and do what he wanted to.
That's
or
right.
Coach's spot, and he could be head coach instead of having to go over defense, have to go off. That'd be a better situation for me.
No doubt.
For our man.
I'm with you, man.
All right, that's all I got, bro. Go on, baby.
Hey, thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Let's get to John in Gainesville. John, good morning.
Hey, man, you just caught me right in the middle of getting my Chick-fil-A, bro.
My bad.
Just don't be
my
like
window
Matt
broke
Jones.
too, man.
My bad. Open the car door. Order it. Close that car door.
I get so embarrassed going through drive-through. I told one of these days don't put it in reverse. Let it roll down her window.
Hey, man, we can put you on hold. We can bring you back in a little bit if you want to.
No, I'm good, man.
Okay.
I'm already gone. Hey, all I gotta say, if anybody that's over 20 years old and you chirping at these recruits, negative stuff, you're a loser. Just plain, I'm gonna go ahead and say you're a loser.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all there is to that. Now, you know how sometimes you be driving on the road, having a nice little day, somebody's zooming around you really fast. You're already doing 5 over the speed limit. And all of a sudden they're going to slow down and make you take off your cruise control.
I hate
do that kind of crap.
I know,
That's
man.
what it's like to be a Tennessee fan sometimes. We just cruising down the highway, enjoying our little Kentucky game, enjoying our Auburn. All right, we all knew there's an OC search going to come up. and our administration or whatever they do over there, however they handle it. I mean, I'm telling you, they can mess up chocolate chip cookies over there. Even though they got chocolate chip cookies of the year in 1998, somehow they screwed up the same batch now. So it blows my mind. I guess that's what we all are so afraid of is what happened last year with that coach search.
Yep.
And Philip Fulmer coming in really calmed all those fears. But I just still got that fear. I hope they don't. I hope this works out, man. I want to do so bad for so many reasons.
Yeah.
You have a good one, man.
Thank you, John. We know Coach Fulmer wants to get football healthy. That's his number one priority. But at the end of the day, he's still a first-time AD. And was everything handled, I guess, cleanly over the last couple of weeks? I don't think so. But what matters most is that you get the right guy. Just get the right guy now. Get the right guy. I don't think the Hugh Freeze thing was handled right. I thought the agents really played everyone and got Hugh Freeze a lot of attention, made Florida State think that he's going to Tennessee, made Tennessee think he's going to Auburn, made Auburn think he was going to Tennessee. And the fans became crazy with it. It got scared. I mean, it's like when the store tells you, got this sale, today only. Today only is a sale. And they're giving you some sense of urgency so that way you can shop with them today. I think that's what happened with Hugh Freeze. It was like, you better get Hugh Freeze or Auburn's going to get him or Alabama's going to get him or Florida State's going to get him and make the fans get some Baylor too. So that's not a big surprise. I think at this point, I'm not necessarily over the coaching search. I'm very interested. I'm very locked in to seeing who Pruitt brings. But I just think now it points to Pruitt, I think, needing to talk to some NFL dudes.
See, I think that's where the 95% done comment came from, in the sense of I'm starting to believe that maybe Pruitt already has his guy and he's in the NFL, and that other 5% is just waiting on the NFL season to end. Because
maybe.
If that's the case, then the comment makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe. But it doesn't make sense because it's not done.
I understand
that.
that.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. Yeah.
It depends on how you look at it.
You have your guy. He's in the NFL, but you don't want to say anything. I don't understand why Freddie Kitchens would want to step away from a rookie quarterback that is going to be really, really good.
Really good.
I mean, you have a chance to be attached to him. Freddie Kitchens is a couple years away from being an NFL head coach.
Yeah.
When you look at the league, you look at the Rams and Sean McVay, you look at Shanahan, the year he had with the Falcons, boom, he's the head coach with the 49ers. You look at Sean McVay and what he did with Kirk Cousins there in Washington, boom, now he's a head coach. You look at Nagy, what he did with the Chiefs, and boom, now he's a head coach with the Bears. Doug Peterson, when he was with the Chiefs, boom, he's a head coach with the Eagles. Like, you don't have to have a ton of experience being offensive coordinator in the league. If you just have a year or two of flash, the league is transitioning to those younger offensive coordinators to become a head coach. And Freddie Kitchens is probably a year, 2, 3 years away from being an NFL head coach. I don't see him coming to college. Now, he must be really tight with Pruitt and his Alabama connections for him to really want to come here and be OC. But, hey, who knows? I wouldn't do it if I was him.
It's a downgrade, quite frankly. I hate to say it. As a Tennessee fan, I hate to say that. And honestly, I think any college position would be a downgrade from the current situation he has with the Browns. That's including, I think being the offensive coordinator at Alabama would be a step down from his current situation.
I believe so too. I mean, you're attached to Baker Mayfield.
I mean, yeah, I think you're kind of on the ground floor of an offense that's going to be really good in the future. Will the Browns be great? I mean, it's also contingent on how their defense plays. But
yeah, but I mean,
But in general, I mean, I think he can make that offense excellent and then move on somewhere else.
100%. Swain mentions Baker, and rightfully so. But that offensive line is young, good, developing, talented. They've got Njoku, they've got Jarvis Landry, Antonio Callaway. If he can keep his head on right, he's turning into a fairly solid receiver at the next level. And then they have some nice running backs. So he has a perfect situation in Cleveland right now, as weird as that sounds.
It would make a lot more sense if that was the case. I will say, because when I look at a dude like Yurcich,
just
whatever it might be. That exact fit just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't translate to me. Maybe it would, and it's Pruitt's decision, sure. But I mean, that dude is fully up tempo, always out of the shotgun. You know, it's a Big 12 offense. And I look at all these dudes in the NFL, that's much more what Pruitt is looking to do. And have we had the wool pulled over our eyes?
I mean, I think if you look at the NFL, there's a lot of Big 12 offensive concepts that are being used.
There are now. It's creeping in. It's pretty quickly, actually. But
that's why you've never heard me go, I don't know, man. He's a Big 12 offensive guy. I don't think it'll fit. That's why you never heard me say it, because the game is evolving. The NFL game is evolving. SEC game is evolving a lot. You need some of those Big 12 offensive concepts, but you also need to run the football when you need to, too. That's the only thing that I would add to what the Big 12 is doing. I think a Big 12 coordinator can coach in the SEC if he added the element of running the football a little bit more. Because the game is evolving. I'm sorry, NFL game, you can see it every Sunday. You're seeing more college concepts now than ever before.
Yep.
And that's why Lincoln Riley is so highly touted, is because Kyler Murray gets all the attention, but their running game has been phenomenal this year, and that's with the loss of Rodney Anderson, who was lost in the first or second game of the season to a bad knee injury.
Yeah. So I hope Pruitt, I hope folks don't get caught up in a dude being in the Big 12. The guy can score points. The guy can create matchups in space with athletes. That's what you want. That's what Tennessee has really failed to do. Got to get recruits from athletes, but when you get them, you got to use them in space too. And so I'm okay with Oklahoma State OC, but I'm leaning towards talking to some NFL coordinators. I really am. I really am. 865-255-03. Attaboys coming up next.
At work? Can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
After an early morning fog, today will be sunny with a high of 45 and a low of 28. Partly sunny tomorrow with a high near 50 and a low around 34. Thursday looks to be mostly cloudy with a high in the lower 50s. Weather on the Swain Event is brought to you by Be Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, Be Dry can help. BeDry.com.
Gentlemen, when it comes to taking care of your health, sometimes the first step is the hardest. Low T Center is making it easier to take that first step. It all starts with knowing the numbers that are essential to a man. Testosterone levels, blood pressure, cholesterol, prostate, and thyroid. Low T Center makes it quick and easy to get all these levels checked and more. Low T Center specializes in men's health and has expanded their services, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, hypertension, severe allergies, high cholesterol, diabetes, and annual physicals, along with testosterone replacement therapy. The physicians at Low T Center not only want to help you feel good again, they want to help you prevent any serious health problems moving forward. Now, with the holistic approach to your overall health and wellness, Low T Center is making it more convenient for men to take care of their health, and most health insurance is accepted. They'll even verify for you. Take the first step for your health and call 865-392-1388. That's 865-392-1388, or go to lowtcenter.com. Reinventing men's healthcare.
Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain Event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give Be Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, that's right, nearly 60 years, Be Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. Be Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words: better call Be Dry. Reach out to Be Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call Be Dry.
It's almost football time in Tennessee, which means it's time to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Tommy Bahama, and all those retro logos you love. Don't forget about your game day crew. Plenty of selection for the ladies, the little balls, and to upgrade their tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com.
If you're among the 40% of obese American adults, you know that diet and exercise doesn't always work. The National Institute of Health recognizes bariatric surgery as the most effective, long-term treatment for severe obesity. Premier Surgical's 2 bariatric offices, Foothills Weight Loss Surgeons and New Life Center for Bariatric Surgery, have helped thousands of East Tennesseans change their lives and health. Weight loss surgery has been shown to improve or resolve many obesity-related conditions such as diabetes, high blood pressure, and sleep apnea. To learn if bariatric surgery is right for you, attend one of the free seminars offered each month by New Life Center for Bariatric Surgery at Tenova Turkey Creek or Foothills Weight Loss Surgeons at Fort Sanders Regional. Visit our bariatric surgery page at premiersurgical.com for more information. Premier Surgical, expertise you can trust.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Don't remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy.
Bring on the positivity. Attaboy is brought to you by Premier Surgical and premiersurgical.com.
If you're among the 40% of obese American adults, you know that diet and exercise does not always work. The National Institute of Health recognizes bariatric surgery as the most effective long-term treatment for severe obesity. Premier Surgical's 2 bariatric offices, Foothills Weight Loss Surgeons and New Life Center for Bariatric Surgery, have helped thousands of East Tennesseans change their lives and health. To learn if bariatric surgery is right for you, attend one of the free seminars offered each month by New Life Center for Bariatric Surgery at Tenova Turkey Creek or Foothills Weight Loss Surgeons at Fort Sanders Regional. And visit Premier's bariatric surgery page at premiersurgical.com for more information. Premier Surgical, expertise you can trust. I have an attaboy this morning for the one and only Kyle Phillips, defensive lineman for the Vols. Yesterday, he was awarded the 2018 Piesman Trophy. Now, if you don't know what the Piesman Trophy is, it's something that was created by SBNation.com, the blogging website. And here's their description for it. It is college football's first trophy honoring linemen who do decidedly un-lineman things. And Kyle won this because of his awesome pick 6 against Alabama. Not much was great about that game, but his pick 6, you know, he picked off the ball, then fought through a bunch of tackles and made it into the end zone. It's an incredible play. But my favorite part out of all of this, you know, he gets the Piesman, but he gave an acceptance speech that Tennessee football's Twitter account tweeted out. And Ben, do you have that queued up? Play that for us.
On behalf of us big guys out there, offensive linemen and defensive linemen, I'm honored to take the 2018 Piesman Trophy Award. I would like to thank SB Nation for making this award possible for us big guys. A lot of big guys don't get a lot of credit. Man, it's a good pie. But also, I would love to thank my teammates, Jalen Hurts for throwing me the ball, and I would like to thank our fans for voting for me. It's been a great ride. Go Vols.
I love that. Thank you to Jalen Hurts for throwing me the ball. Really good stuff. It's a fun award. There is even actually a trophy for this, and it is shaped like a pie. I love this whole thing. It's something that makes college football fun. And congrats to Kyle for winning the 2018 Piesman. That's my attaboy this morning.
Most definitely. And keeping up with the awards, we talked about Admiral Schofield yesterday on Attaboy. I want to mention all of the awards that he won. Yesterday, he was named the SEC Co-Player of the Week. He was named the NBC Sports National Player of the Week and the College Sports Madness National Player of the Week. So several Player of the Week honors following his 30-point performance and 25 second-half points to lead Tennessee over #1 Gonzaga.
Huge.
I like it.
Much deserved.
I like it. Good stuff as always here on Attaboy. Congratulations to Kyle Phillips. Big fan of him. Just carried himself the right way and led by example and in the classroom, took care of business. And you know, I used to always say I would want my son to be like Josh Dobbs because of the way he carries himself and represents his family and represents his university. But Kyle Phillips is not too far behind him. his mother's an AD at a college program. She understands the importance of education, and she's taught Kyle that. And Kyle has taken care of business here during his time at Tennessee in the classroom and on the football field. So Kyle could have went to LSU, could have transferred, to be honest. Wouldn't have blamed him one bit if he would have transferred during his dysfunctional 4 years under a different coach. But he stayed here. He stayed the course. He battled. He fought, and very proud of him. So good to see him get recognition and get an award, the Piesman. I like it. Really cool. All right, let's get to the phones, and let's get to Charles. Charles, good morning.
Hey, good morning, man.
What's up, Charles, man? I'm Jason Swain, man. It's nice to meet you.
What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
Hey, man, I try to tell people about Groove.
You did.
I tried to tell people, whoever will listen, man.
You did. I was listening to you.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, after the draft, he was around draft time when they got Martavius Bryant, which is Ben's boy, and they got the boy from
my boy,
Green Bay.
Oh, Jordy Nelson.
They got Jordy Nelson. And I said, okay, now he has a quarterback. He has Amari Cooper. He has all these weapons. Now, he's supposed to be an offensive guru. I'm going to see what John Gruden's going to do. And I knew that what we're seeing is what John Gruden was going to do, and that's nothing. He wasn't going to do anything, Swain. And now he got your boy fired.
He did, man. He got the real VFL fired.
He got him fired, Swain. No, well, you know who got him? Amari Cooper got him fired on Friday, on Sunday night. That's who got Reggie McKenzie fired, was Amari Cooper. That show he put up.
Hey, Gruden didn't want him.
Well, at some point you got to say, look, you first of all, you got rid of, the best defensive player in the league, not named Aaron Donald, and then you get rid of Amari Cooper. It's ridiculous. I mean, who else does David Carr have to throw to?
Yeah, he might be on his way out too.
He's hurt, isn't he?
I think they brought Martavis back after cutting him, but it's a mess with Oakland. It's a mess.
I mean, it's a mess. Jordan Nelson, has he played all year? What has he done?
He ain't been the same since leaving Green Bay.
Right. So I want to break down this game. The Tigers and Tennessee this weekend real quick.
Okay.
So I think Penny's message will be this. If you guys don't match Tennessee's intensity, they will beat you by 30. The problem that the Tigers have right now is their seniors aren't playing like seniors.
Mm-hmm.
Now, those guys are JUCO transfer, JUCO guys that came in under Tubby, and these aren't really good guys. But they've been up and down. Mike Parks, Kevon Davenport, Rainier Thornton, they've been up and down. They played good. They haven't played like seniors. So if they can play like seniors, I still think Tennessee should win the game. They'll win by 10 or 15 points. They should. But if you will notice in the first couple minutes of the game, if the Tigers are not diving on loose balls, they're not taking charges, you can't bend at the waist for 50-50 ball. You got to get on the floor.
That's right.
If they're not getting back in position and matching up in transition, they'll get run off the floor. And I think that's what Penny's message is going to be. I'm not worried about A-Lo. I'm not worried about Tyler Harris. I'm not worried about Jeremiah Martin. The guys from Memphis, I'm not worried about. They ain't got the punch in them. Okay, they're going to play. I'm worried about the big guys that tend to blend in with the woodwork, that tend to not want to get back in transition. So, anyway, you guys have a great show.
Hey, thank you, Charles. I just want to know who Charles rooting for. You and Vol Nation. Who y'all rooting for? Y'all rooting for Tennessee? Y'all rooting for Memphis this weekend? Just saying. We know y'all Memphis boys. We know y'all love Memphis basketball, but also love Tennessee. Hour 2 coming up.
If you love the Swain Event and you want more of the show every day, you can now get it with Swain Event Plus. Swain Event Plus features exclusive, in-depth interviews with former Vols.
She saved my life. I probably would have never made the comments, man.
I looked at him and said, Coach, no disrespect. I'm going to Tennessee. I'm going to play in the SEC.
With Swain Event Plus, you can also get access to the exclusive podcast Reel on the Hill with Tennessee media legend John Bryce.
What is going on there with that battle?
I had lunch with some folks over the course of this past week who indicated some inside the program believe that Jarrett Garantano is really ready to take that next step.
So go to SwainEventPlus.com right now to sign up and check out all of the amazing extras that you can get. That's SwainEventPlus.com. Get more.
Touchdown or turnover is up next on the Swain Event.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to OFOKnox.com. That's OFOKnox.com. You know what? The holiday season reminds me of SEC football. You need touchdowns over turnovers. So let me tell you about my friends who are ready to help. Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union is ready to help you make this holiday season special for you and your family. They offer a special holiday loan at a very low interest rate and affordable payment to help you make those purchases for your family this holiday season. Oh, I get it. You're going all out this year. You're going to get that car, that boat, motorcycle, or camper for that special someone in your life. Alcoa 10 has the lowest interest rates around. They have money ready to lend you to help you make this holiday season one you would never forget. The process is fast, easy, and painless, and the decisions are made local, so you gotta give the loan experts at Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union a call, 865-977-3118, or check them out and apply online, atfcu.com. Better rates, better service, Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong. ATFCU is an equal housing lender.
Touchdown or turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
I want you to listen to the words carefully that are coming out of my mouth right now for this touchdown turnover. And you can interpret this how you want to. You can give me your opinion. It's not a right or wrong answer here. Touchdown turnover backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, ATFCU.com, place where you belong, better rates and better service. You are happy that Butch Jones will go be an assistant coach at the University of Maryland, touchdown or turnover. You are happy that Butch Jones is going to Maryland as a coach, touchdown or turnover.
Turnover? I'm not happy. I'm not unhappy. I just don't care. I'm tired of Butch Jones. I'm tired of talking about him. I guess technically I am happy because hopefully it'll help Tennessee lower what it has to pay Butch Jones now that he has an actual job. Although I wouldn't be surprised if Maryland pulls a Florida with what Florida did with Larry Scott and the defensive backs coach Charlton Warren, and pay them as little as possible.
Screw Tennessee on the contract.
Yeah, and let Tennessee pay the majority of the salary. So I guess I'll say touchdown just for that simple fact, for money reasons. But quite frankly, I don't care. I'm just tired of talking about him.
It's touchdown initially for me, sure. Tennessee has that buyout lowered by whatever marginal amount it's going to be. He's not going to make a ton as the tight ends coach at Maryland. But that's good. Good for Tennessee. At the same time, and I mean this genuinely, I don't want to see Butch Jones back coaching kids. I don't think he's good at his job. In fact, I think he was toxic and really hurt some kids when he was at Tennessee. So, I mean, yeah, I guess initially when I think about it on a completely surface level, yeah, sure, I'm happy. That's a touchdown. And I think it's funny, and I want to, make fun of Maryland for doing that. But at the same time, in a very serious way, I don't think he should be back coaching anyone, and I kind of feel for the kids at Maryland and anybody that has to deal with them. Sorry to the tight ends there. You're not getting a good coach.
I think it's really easy to have mixed emotions about this, and I'm with Ben. I try to talk about Butch as least as possible, but when you have a first-year coach, Jeremy Pruitt, and he is basically trying to fix a culture that was left by the previous coach, just like it was in Butch following Dooley and Dooley following Kiffin, it's really hard not to talk about the previous coach. The only reason we're talking about Butch today is because he is going to Maryland, and that does affect Tennessee because of the buyout that we are paying him, and that'll take away some money. He should make $300,000, $400,000 there at Maryland, somewhere around that, and that'll help Tennessee out with some money. But it's really understandable to have mixed feelings here, because on one hand, you want what's best for Tennessee, and Tennessee's going to save some money. But on the other hand, you look at what Maryland just went through and what we know about what happened at Tennessee, and if you have read any of the book Empowered by Selena Summers, or you've heard stories about how players were treated, how players' careers were ruined, you kind of feel sorry for those Maryland tight ends.
It's pretty damning.
Oh, it is. So you have mixed emotions. That's why I asked the question, because it's a tough question. But I'll say touchdown. It helps Tennessee. But at the same time, I really hope Maryland understands and Mike Locksley understands what happened at Tennessee. And people can change. I always root for people to bounce back and have a second opportunity. And Butch Jones is really no different. On a personal level, he's not my favorite. But if he's not a changed person, then it really hurts innocent student athletes, innocent tight ends in that room. And so I hope that he has improved. I hope he has grown as a person first, because that's really the reason why he was unsuccessful as a coach. It wasn't X's and O's so much. It was about the person that he is and was. Hopefully she's changed. But I'll go touchdown, man. I will, just because I think it'll benefit Tennessee. And what happens with the Alabama-Maryland connection, Josh Gaddis is a wide receiver coach. He reportedly is interested in the App State head coaching job. He's also interested in the Temple head coaching job. Does he leave? Does he stay? Because if Josh Gaddis leaves and goes to either Maryland to be the offense coordinator or he gets a head coaching opportunity, we do understand it opens it up for T. Martin to possibly go to Alabama, right? Are we prepared for that? Because that could happen. It could happen. I think T could sit right there and collect 2 more years. But does he really want to stay out of the game 2 years? California is nice. I know wife loves California. T has a son that's really, really good in baseball.
Really good.
Really good. And so I'm sure he has a lot of resources out there that's helping him improve each and every day.
And I believe he was the starting quarterback as a freshman on his high school football team.
Yeah. But T also has 2 kids on the East Coast. He has a daughter that goes to school in the state of Tennessee in college, and then he has Amari, who's right there at Clemson, and T doesn't get a chance to see Amari play in person. And so a move back to this coast makes it probably easier for his kids and to see each other and stuff like that. But it may mean he goes to Georgia Tech, which I think will be ideal for him. He lived in Atlanta before.
He would kill it at Georgia Tech in terms of recruiting.
Absolutely. I think Georgia Tech would be a great fit for him. He does have a relationship with Mike Locksley. Mike Locksley gave him his first opportunity in New Mexico.
Now, when Mike was at New Mexico, Mike put his hands on an assistant coach in the staff room. That was what happened. It was a mess there, and Mike has rehabbed his image and done a really good job, and that's why he's now at Maryland. But T. Martin has some really interesting options, some really good options. He can sit out, collect money for 2 years. He can get a phone call from Nick Saban. Not many people turn down Nick Saban more than once. And if T does it again, it will be 2 times. He can go to Maryland, or he can go to Georgia Tech. So the coaching dominoes continue to fall, and it may affect one of our own. And hopefully one of our own is not coaching and recruiting against us.
But I will say, whether he goes to Georgia Tech or elsewhere, Maryland, or even if he were to go to Alabama, I think anywhere he goes, it's going to be a step up from his situation at USC.
Oh, yeah.
Most likely.
Just because Clay Helton has that Gus Malzahn thing going on in Los Angeles, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. He threw everybody under the bus to save himself. And I can't sit here and say I wouldn't do the same thing, but we know what happened. And it's tough whenever you lose a quarterback like Sam Darnold and then you replace him with a freshman. I mean, the offense is going to struggle, and that's what's happening. Wait a minute. Let me highlight this before I forget it.
Can you put it in reverse, Terry?
I got to put it in reverse. So, if you are a dad and you didn't meet your dreams going to college, you have a son, why not get dressed in some Gator gear, right? Why not get dressed ready to go? I think this is a really funny story, and it includes a recruit who was on his official visit or unofficial visit there at Florida. He's in a photo with his father and Dan Mullen. He is dressed in Gator gear. He's not the only guy dressed in Gator gear in this photo, because his father is also dressed in Gator gear. I'm talking about cleats, pants, shirt, gloves. Daddy is ready to go. Daddy is ready.
I think half of our listeners sent us this on Twitter last night as a For What. It's so good that we're doing it outside of the For What segment. I think it deserves that. It might even be bigger than For What. What are you doing, father of this recruit?
You know who he looks like? He looks like Leroy Brown from Tyler Perry's Meet the Browns.
Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown.
Mr.
You know,
Brown.
he used to wear those
suspenders.
Well, just
in those crazy outfits. Yeah, Mr. Brown. I mean, can you blame Dad?
When in Rome, I guess, you know.
I mean, can you blame Dad? You only get one opportunity to dress up like this, dress like a college football player. It's your son. You will never have this opportunity again. All those practices, Little League, all those hard times, all the sacrifice, the traveling, and in this moment, you're not taking a picture with your son?
Well, really, I'm not really putting any, I guess, blame for him dressing up on him. It was Dan Mullen's idea. So the dad, his name is Lloyd Summerall. His son is Lloyd Summerall III, who is a 4-star defensive end from the state of Florida. They are obviously on a recruiting visit, and this is from an article from Will Salmon, who covers Florida for The Athletic. He said that this was around 2 or 3 p.m. on Saturday. Florida was hosting 14 official visitors, and during the photo shoot portion of the official visit, all the parents and family relatives of prospects wore Florida shirts while the players were dressed in full uniform. That's when Mullen looked at Summerall with an idea. Mullen said, "Man, you look pretty swole. You probably need to go ahead and put on a whole uniform." And Summerall responded, "You know what? I guess I'll go ahead and try that then." And then Mullen said, "Well, go do it." And that's when Summerall did. And
Larry Summerall Sr. is not swole.
I mean, he's a certain type of swole.
He's stocky. That's how I would say it.
He got grown man strength.
He's a stocky dad.
Yeah, he's grown man strength. I mean, he grown man strong.
I mean, he
country strong.
He meets your recruiting profile.
Oh yeah, he
definitely looks like an old man. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, this is what you have to do though if you are recruiting. I mean, kudos to Dan Mullen, who gets some flack for not being great in recruiting. the first thing you have to do sometimes is recruit the parents. Yes, you are recruiting the son to come to your school, but you have to recruit the parents. And I think that's why Owen Papo decided to stay at Auburn, because Auburn did a really good job of selling his parents hardcore. And so you got to recruit the parents. And you got to find out who is the influencer. Is it grandmother? Is it mom? Is it dad? And you have to recruit them first.
And if you haven't seen it, I just put it in the show notes on the app. You can go straight there, the Swain Event app on the App Store. Pop that open, go to show notes, first thing there, and you will see Larry Summerall Sr. in all of his glory.
I think I would do the same thing if I was dad. Honestly,
I would.
That's pretty fun. I mean,
I think I would do the same thing.
Well, it's just like even right now, if I had a younger brother or a cousin like visiting Tennessee, and Jeremy Pruitt was like, "Well, Ben, why don't you go ahead and put some of that gear on right there? I think you look pretty good in it." I'd probably put it on.
I might like put on a helmet. I don't know that I would put on.
I would put on a
the
jersey.
Entire maybe a jersey.
I wouldn't do the pants. I would not do the pants.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably where I would draw the line. Now do you remember when Rick Pitino of Louisville basketball coaching fame went on College Game Day, when College Game Day was at Louisville, and he wore a form-fitting football jersey? Do you remember that?
I think I do.
It kind of and you just looked at it and you were like, no, that's
What is you doing?
don't wear that. I kind of look at this and I'm like, no, don't.
I would do the same thing if my son was in that position. I would be dressed down in Tennessee gear, belly all over my belt, not caring, wearing gloves, gray hair showing over my headband. I don't care, because that's a photo that will last a lifetime.
I know what
that's a great photo, man.
I know what jersey you would definitely put on if your son was taking recruiting visits.
Number one.
No, I'm talking about like what team. It would be the Vanderbilt Commodores, so you could put on something black. You put on those black jerseys, knowing how much you love black.
Now here's another one.
I'll reach over this table, Ben. Don't do that again.
Here's another one. Mark Elmore just sent us. This mom came with her son, who's a recruit, and she just put on just the jersey, but she got jeans on. Fine. Like I said, the pants, the form-fitting pants, is where I gotta draw that line. I gotta draw that line.
They're disturbing.
Yeah, and specifically, obviously, these moms, these jerseys aren't extremely form-fitting, like they probably are on a dude with a larger upper body, so they kind of drape off of them, and it doesn't look so weird. This is okay.
All of it's okay to me.
Well, it's all okay.
All of it.
Hey. Do what you want. But does it look funny with this dad? It absolutely looks funny.
Hey, one opportunity. Your son's going to an SEC school or have an opportunity to play anywhere he wants, and I get to dress up one time, have this photo for myself for a lifetime. I mean, it's pretty cool. This is a really cool moment. I got to give props to Dan Mullen, because you know what's going to happen? Somebody else is going to do this. Another school is going to do this.
Yep.
And Dan Mullen kind of did it first. I got to tip the cap. Even though Dad does look a little funny in the video or in the photo, I got to tip the cap, because I would do the same thing if I was Dad. Wristbands and all. All 87 of them, like Coach Z.
You'd have every single one on.
865-200-5503. Hour 2, brought to you by Alumni Hall, alumnihall.com.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End BBQ has a new slew of daily specials for the fall. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the smokehouse stew, barbecue cheddar meatloaf, or the smoked turkey and dressing, which includes sliced smoked turkey and cornbread dressing paired with sauteed Brussels sprouts, mashed potatoes, and a side of turkey gravy. While Dead End offers a different specialty meal each day, you can get their hillbilly chili every day. There is always something new at Dead End BBQ. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End BBQ. The fall flavor search is over.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can. because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today. We're here with Dr. Mike Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, or instability, Achilles tendonitis, golfers, or tennis elbow, do what I did and give them a call.
Yeah, Jason, we specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged ligaments, tendons, and joints, including things like rotator cuff injuries, knee instability, elbow problems, as well as foot problems like plantar fasciitis, Achilles, things of that nature, by injecting with stem cells and what's called PRP, or platelet-rich plasma. And this form of treatment we do under ultrasound, so we know we have our target. And it also stimulates the body's own reparative process, and this allows for the healing of damaged tissue. And as you well know, numerous professional and collegiate athletes, guys like Steph Curry, Tiger Woods, and even yourself with your ankle injury, have been using this form of treatment for years. And so we offer that same type of treatment here in East Tennessee.
Visit them on the web at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in regenerative therapy.
Goes your car insurance.
Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
If you aren't following the Swain Event on Twitter, then are you even on Twitter? Hit that follow button. It's the right thing to do.
Going to the text box, hour 2 here on the Swain Event is brought to you by Alumni Hall. Get game day ready. Several locations here in Knoxville, Paper Mill, Turkey Creek, and Westtown Mall. AlumniHall.com is the website. Shop there 24/7. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Alumni Hall UT. Going to the text box this morning. TK Vols fan says, is Eno still an option for UT OC? I haven't really heard much traction with Tennessee and Dan Eno, so I think that would be a great fit for Tennessee, but I think we all are anticipating him to be the offense coordinator at Alabama, so haven't heard much traction between Enos and Tennessee there. And South Kakalaki says, how can Alabama hire all these former coaches? We can't. We have high school coaches.
Don't be unfair.
Do we really want to compare where Alabama has been the last 10 years to where Tennessee has been the last 10 years?
Alabama. What high school coaches do we have that's a problem? We got some high school coaches that have helped us in recruiting, that will help us in recruiting. It's not like we just got any type of high school coach. We got guys that have started off in high school and they have worked their way up and earned an opportunity to coach at this level. So I don't think it's a bad thing. Guess where you get your players from? You get your players from high school. And to have a high school background, I think that helps you when you're talking to high school coaches and when you're talking to parents. It's hard to compare to Alabama, who has 50 off-the-field coaches and money to pay them. And it's just Tennessee's just not even the same planet as Alabama right now when it comes to being able to hire who they want and bring in who they want. South Kakalaki says, Charles, we don't care about your Tigers. 2 teams. Who has 2 teams? You have 2 families also, Charles? LOL.
Poor Charles. Now,
be nice to Charles.
Speaking of 2 families, can we talk? I'm sorry. That's a really bad transition.
It's not a bad one. It's
It's not. You'll get what I mean in a second. I had this question on Twitter last night from Josh Anderson. He said, now we wondered earlier if Pruitt might be waiting to get an NFL coach. Josh Anderson asked, could Pruitt be waiting for Colquitt County High School football to be finishing up their season on Wednesday to bring in head coach Rush Probst? Again, just speculation here, but does that seem at all like a reality?
I mean, there's been an attempt to try to bring him on the staff before. I think Rush Probst is a dang good football coach, and you won't get any complaint from me if he is brought in as a coordinator. I think when you look at what Pruitt wants, he wants someone that will fit the rest of the staff on this football team. And I mean, Probst has coached with some of these dudes on this football staff. Yep. Will Friend and Pruitt and those dudes. I know a lot of people don't know a lot about him, so they will be quick to criticize or down the hire, but I won't be one of those guys initially. The only way I would down the hire if he just stinks as a coordinator during the season and he can't develop quarterbacks and the offense looks bad. But I like Rush Probst. I think he's a heck of a football coach, and I would love to see him in college, see what he does.
And having a guy jump from high school head coach to SEC OC is actually not without precedent. Gus Malzahn did it. He went from high school straight to Arkansas as OC. So it's happened, and obviously Gus Malzahn found real success.
There you go, Charlie. Good job, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just try. I know there are a lot of people out there that hear that initially and think, oh, God, surely we're not going to hire a high school guy. But, I'll tell you, it's happened. It's happened before, and the guy that did it found success in the league. So,
yeah. DC Vol Girl says possible reasons for Freddie Kitchens to leave Cleveland for Tennessee. Number one, Haslam's have complete control of the Browns and only partly control of Tennessee. Number two, Former convinced the Haslams to send Kitchens to Tennessee because the Haslams will do anything for Former. They love Former. Number three, who in their right mind wants to live in Cleveland?
That is the real reason right there. Why would anybody want to live in Cleveland?
I mean, number three is probably more true than any other.
Well, I think she was joking.
Of the first two, I don't know about. Well, I hope she was joking because I don't know about the Haslams loving Former or that feeling mutual. I don't know. Yeah. But the Haslams, they have complete control over Tennessee too. they're just occupied. Jimmy is just occupied with the Browns right now, but
you know that
they have complete control of Tennessee too.
You know that gif of the cartoon character sitting in the room on a stool, and the fire is all around him.
Yeah,
and everything is fine.
Yeah.
The Haslams have a lot of fires right now.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Freddie Kitchens, I wouldn't go anywhere, but maybe DC Vol Girl is on or something.
But
I don't know.
She's right. Have you ever heard anybody say, we're going to Cleveland for vacation?
No.
That's a good point. Unless you go to Cedar Point, the amusement park that's up there, that's not actually in Cleveland. Could go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Is Freddie Kitchens a big rock and roll guy? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's literally all I know about Cleveland. Yeah, that's it. I was trying to think of something else. Nope, I don't.
Vol in Birmingham says, I would hope that Pruitt has already talked to NFL guys. Goodness, it's almost been a month, and they have known Helton was leaving since mid-season. They have enough time to talk to every coach in the country. That's true. Coleman says, I trust Pruitt to make the right hire. I feel like he's already recruited above our potential in terms of players and coaches. I feel like our next step after the OC hire is overachieving on the field. We're not going to get all the best recruits until they see proof that this staff can get the most out of the players they have. I agree. Virginia Vol says, why wasn't Pruitt more prepared? And we'll see with the hire how prepared Pruitt really was. I think when you look at all the possibilities, like if I asked everyone to name 3 legitimate OC hires that you can see Tennessee making that you think would be successful,
giving our current situation, meaning the OC cannot bring anybody with him. He has to be a developer of the quarterback position, and he has to have a real playbook, not just doing things like Browse and those guys did at Baylor. There's not a lot of picks out there. They're really not. There's not. Who can you bring in that's not going to bring anybody with him? Because the coordinator will have to teach the coaches for weeks and weeks and weeks about his offense before the coaches can even go out there and teach the players. There's going to be a huge learning curve for everyone involved. There's just not a lot of choices. And I think for Pruitt, he has to be very, very careful about who he picks here because you have a quarterback in Jared Garantano that's on his fourth coordinator in 4 years, and you have some freshman signal callers that will have opportunity to play, that will compete, and you never know what's going to happen with them. So you just want to make sure that the offense is friendly so guys can pick up on it fast as possible and play fast.
And you don't want the offense this season to scare away Harrison Bailey. I know he committed to Tennessee, but National Signing Day is over a year away. So you don't want this upcoming season, Tennessee's 2019 offense, to scare him away.
Yeah. Lance Drawdy says, regarding Probst, I read there was an NCAA rule that will prevent him from being hired as an on-the-field coach because we signed J.J. Peterson from his school. If he comes on staff, it would have to be in an off-the-field role. Is that true? Actually, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. If you recruit a player from the high school coach can't come on staff unless he is on the field. He can't be off the field. So you can't just hire like Conzo Martin, got the #1 player in the country a couple of years ago. He just brought his daddy on, just put him on the staff.
Michael Porter Jr.
You can't do that in an off the field role. He has to be an on the field coach. So technically you could do it with Rush Probst if he is offense coordinator or receiver coach or tight end coach or running back coach, something like that. I wonder if Chris Winkie is going to stay or not. The more that Florida State is looking for an offense coordinator, and Loxley has not hired a coordinator, I wonder what's going to happen with Winkie. Remember last year, guys, and I heard some grumblings about Robert Gillespie being let go in like December. I heard that it wasn't going to be a fit with Pruitt and this group, and they waited till after signing day, and they let go of Robert Gillespie, and they brought in Chris Winkie. I wonder if there's going to be something like that happens again this year where there's a change. If there's a spot open, now we're talking about 2 spots open on your offensive staff. Does that change things for Jeremy Pruitt as he looks for an offense coordinator? I don't know. I do know one thing. Tennessee is ranked number 3 in the country, and we'll know a lot about this Tennessee basketball team coming off an emotional win against Gonzaga, now playing an in-state rival, a team that's not as good as them. How will they come out and respond? Will they have the same sense of urgency, the same effort, with the same execution? We'll know a lot about this team this weekend. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End BBQ. Hour 2, brought to you by Alumni Hall, alumnihall.com.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799. Gentlemen, when it comes to health and quality of life, there are numbers every man needs to know, including our testosterone number. I recommend going to Low T Center. They make it quick and easy to get your levels checked. and is covered by most health insurance. Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy. It can raise your cholesterol, cause weight gain, and loss of muscle mass. Low T Center's physicians specialize in treating low T in men. Listen to me here. They know men's health and are reinventing men's health care. Call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com.
Beatty Chevrolet is celebrating 85 years of low prices. And during Truck Month, choose from over 400 trucks and SUVs, all deeply discounted. Like a new Silverado, now 25% off. A new Equinox, now 20% off. And a certified pre-owned 15 Equinox or Terrain, now $16,995. Plus, buy with confidence with the Beatty warranty for life.
Big selection and even bigger savings. That's why it's better at Beatty Chevrolet.
Stock number 232, savings off MSRP, include all dealer savings and manufacturer incentives with approved credit list finance through GMF. Offer expires 8/31/18.
When you're out running around shopping for all your holiday gatherings, don't forget to grab the Mrs. Grissom's. Mrs. Grissom's salads and cheese spreads are perfect when you need a delicious, easy meal and ready-to-eat containers the whole crowd will enjoy, like the Select Old-Fashioned Pimento Cheese or Cranberry Pecan Chicken Salad or the classic Mrs. Grissom's Ham Salad. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's. Find recipe ideas and coupons at mrsgrissoms.com.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain Event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Tennessee, ranked third in the country. And you can make the argument they should be number 2. You can make the argument they should be number 1. But that would be crazy. At least they should be number 2. Remember in 2008 when Tennessee beat Memphis, they took over the number 1 ranking, and then they held it for just a couple hours and then lost to Vanderbilt. That was a big emotional win. Tennessee against Gonzaga, that was a big emotional win. Now you have a couple more days to kind of come back down to earth. Whereas when Tennessee beat Memphis, I think like 2 or 3 days later you play Vanderbilt. In this case, you don't play Memphis until the weekend.
Yeah, I believe Tennessee-Memphis was late that Saturday night. I know it was a late Saturday night game, and then I believe Tennessee and Vanderbilt played Tuesday night in Memorial Gym.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Vanderbilt won 72-69. Chris Lofton had 25 points that game.
Thankfully, you got a little more time to decompress this week. I think Tennessee will be prepared. I don't remember much about that Vandy team, but I feel like that Vandy team was probably better than this Memphis team is going to be.
24-4 was Vanderbilt. I don't know.
Okay, so yeah, they were good.
Yeah, they were number 18 in the country when they beat Tennessee that game.
That's when Shane Foster went crazy.
He had 32 points on 9 of 13 shooting and 6 of 9 from the three-point line.
Man, he lit us up. I remember that night. Whew. He was balling.
Yeah. But this, like I was saying, this Memphis team is not like that Vandy team. They're okay. They are okay, but they don't really have a good win so far this season. They already lost to LSU. They got absolutely blown out by Oklahoma State. So they're they got plenty to work through. Memphis does. I think Tennessee should be able to take care of business. It's not gonna be easy though. It's gonna be sold out FedEx Forum and
yeah. It's definitely what's going in Memphis's favor is all the stuff that isn't on the court. The fact that Tennessee is coming off of a big-time win over the number 1 team in the country, the fact that the Forum is going to be sold out. Because on the court, just if the game was played on paper, Tennessee wins by 15, 20 points because Tennessee has a decided height advantage. Tennessee, on average, is one of the biggest teams in the country, and according to KenPom, Memphis is one of the smallest teams in the country. I want to say I heard they're second to smallest in the country. So Grant Williams, Adam Schofield, Kyle Alexander, they should be able to eat this game. What concerns me, though, is Memphis loves to shoot the 3-ball, especially Tyler Harris, who is a freshman point guard from Cordova. Tennessee was actually looking at him this past recruiting class, and he did choose Memphis over Tennessee because of Penny. But he can light it up from the three-point line. And my biggest fear is that some of these smaller lineups that Penny runs out there, he likes to go 4 guards sometimes, is if they just start chunking threes and they just have a career night and just start draining all of them. That's my biggest fear.
I mean, it's kind of what happened against Louisville. Yeah, Jordan Noro came out of nowhere and was just raining threes. He came off the bench and had a huge game, and Louisville was able to stick into that game until maybe about the last 7-8 minutes. And yeah, I could absolutely see something like that happening. Tennessee's perimeter defense hasn't been as good as it could be so far this season, so wouldn't surprise me if something like that happens and Memphis sticks with Tennessee for a while.
Let's get to Vol Nation on line 1. B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline, 865-200-5503. Vol Nation, good morning.
Morning, family. How y'all doing, man?
Good, man.
Hey, man. Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see the game this weekend. I don't, like I told you guys before, I don't think.
Hey, Vol Nation, turn whatever you have in your background.
Sorry. My bad.
It's all good.
That better?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think you guys us as a program would have any problem with Memphis really this week. Like you said, you just want to make sure you don't have that hangover from being the number 1 team, and I think that comes from maturity. Like I said, what we saw this past weekend with the leadership of Admiral Schofield and Grant Williams, I don't think they'll allow that to happen. I think they're focused. Just like when he hit that shot, he walked over and told everybody, "Hey, calm down.
Yep.
The game's not over yet." That's leadership, and I saw that, and I put that in the back of my mind. I said, "Okay, that he's focused." He said, "Hey, we hadn't done anything yet. It's just the beginning," and so he's getting them to look at the big picture. This is just a building block, and every week you got to go to work and get ready to play that next team. And you don't ever, look at the next opponent like, well, they're nothing. I'm not going to prepare, because you can be beat on any given Saturday or whenever y'all play during the week.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at Memphis, right now, like I said, they don't really have the size. I mean, the physicality that we have on the front court. With Alexander, with Grant, down in the paint, and of course Schofield goes down there periodically or whatever, and of course you got Bone and everybody out on the back court. The size, the physicality, the athleticism is unmatched. And right now Memphis has got some quality players, but they're really young. I mean, you got Lomax, he's 5'10", he's a guard, and usually they play like a 3-guard system. They kind of had to come out of that a little bit when they played LSU. Because LSU was so huge and big, and so he had to, shake up the roster a little bit. They do have a Energizer buddy down in the paint that's 6'8", Kayvon Davenport. He's a senior. He's a human highlight film at times. He blocks shots. He attacks the basket. He's very physical. He's about the size of Alexander. You know what I'm saying? But, like I said, these guys are very young. The guard play is going to be exciting to watch. It's going to be a learning experience for Memphis, But I think if Tennessee goes out there and executes, stay out of foul trouble, they play physical. And once again, it depends on the ref, too, because depending on where you play, you kind of have to pay attention to the whistle, and what they're allowing you to do. And as long as they don't put themselves in a bad situation, even though Memphis might push them like they pushed LSU a little bit, I think Memphis in the second half would just wear them down and then take over and do what they do. And so I wouldn't be as concerned about this game, but they do need to take it seriously. But like I said, I don't see it being a problem. I think Memphis is going to run off a 5 or 6 game win streak before they, come up on somebody that, that they may need to be concerned about. But, I'm excited about this program, excited about what Tennessee is going to be doing the course of the season. And what this series looks like 2-3 years from now would be exciting, especially with the way Rick Barnes is recruiting and bringing in kids, and Penny's bringing in kids. But, overall, I think it's going to be a great Saturday. It's going to be great seeing them play each other again. It's great seeing Penny Hardaway on the sideline. He's excited. It's the first time he gets a chance to coach against a top 5 program in the country.
Yep. Great opportunity for sure, Vol Nation, for Memphis. And I'm not worried about Tennessee, I guess, having a letdown game after the emotional win because of what you just mentioned, Vol Nation. That's the leadership. That is Admiral Schofield in the moment, hitting a big shot, saying, guys, calm down. Let's not get too excited. We still have to play defense. We still have to continue to play because you lost that overtime game against Kansas because you let up or you probably got too excited, too emotional. And so I anticipate Tennessee to go out there, handle business. They understand that the goal is to winning a championship. And this is just the next game. Admiral said that when he was interviewed after the Gonzaga win. It was a big game, but you have to treat it like the next game, and that's what they did against Gonzaga, and that's what they will do against Memphis. It's just the next game. We have For What coming up here on the other side, 865-250-503. And hour 3, we'll talk to VolQuest Austin Price, get an update on recruiting, and get an update possibly on the OC search. Stay with us. Swain Event. We'll be right back.
For what is coming up on the Swain Event.
After an early morning fog, today will be sunny with a high of 45 and a low of 28. Partly sunny tomorrow with a high near 50 and a low around 34. Thursday looks to be mostly cloudy with a high in the lower 50s. Weather on the Swain Event is brought to you by Be Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, Be Dry can help. BeDry.com. Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain Event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give Be Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, that's right, nearly 60 years, Be Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. Be Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words: better call Be Dry. Reach out to Be Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call Be Dry.
Do you want a custom themed tumbler or bottle to show off your team spirit every day of the week? Well, look no further than Game Time Sidekicks. Every design has you, the fan, in mind. Their tumblers and bottles are double-walled, vacuum-insulated stainless steel, and their quality is second to none in the market. From stainless steel sippy cups to tumblers and sports bottles, Game Time Sidekicks offers something for the fan of all ages to rep their team with. They have many different logo options, so fans will have something they are proud to carry around all the time. Use promo code SWAIN at checkout to get 20% off of your entire purchase at GameTimeSidekicks.com. They also offer $5 flat rate shipping. Be sure to check out the Game Time Workshop on the website and customize your tumbler to make it one of a kind with things like your nickname, number, or initials. Game Time Sidekicks. Show your colors and carry your team.
If you're among the 40% of obese American adults, you know that diet and exercise doesn't always work. The National Institute of Health recognizes bariatric surgery as the most effective, long-term treatment for severe obesity. Premier Surgical's 2 bariatric offices, Foothills Weight Loss Surgeons, and New Life Center for Bariatric Surgery have helped thousands of East Tennesseans change their lives and health. Weight loss surgery has been shown to improve or resolve many obesity-related conditions such as diabetes, high blood pressure, and sleep apnea. To learn if bariatric surgery is right for you, attend one of the free seminars offered each month by New Life Center for Bariatric Surgery at Tenova Turkey Creek or Foothills Weight Loss Surgeons at Fort Sanders Regional. Visit our bariatric surgery page at premiersurgical.com for more information. Premier Surgical, expertise you can trust.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
Dan Mullen posing awkwardly with recruits.
For what?
Gators working out wearing costumes.
For what?
Vanderbilt making a sorority-style video.
For what?
Aaron Murray and David Pollock opening their mouths.
For what? All right, it's time for what here on the Swain Event. All right, gentlemen. Let's go to Charlie. Let's let Charlie go first because he's close to the Christmas tree. And that just has nothing to do with why he's going first, but that's the reason why I'm saying he's going first. So, Charlie, you're going first. What you got?
Got it for what? Of course. You know where this for what is from. The state of Florida. A leaping lemur surprises Florida trooper during DUI arrest. Sanford, Florida. A lemur, an exotic, endangered lemur, surprised a Florida Highway Patrol trooper when it crawled from a trailer that was being pulled by a pickup truck that had been stopped for driving erratically and hitting other cars. And in fact, this trailer was dragging the ground. There's a video of it, and sparks were flying everywhere. So this guy hitting other cars, driving erratically, trailer's dragging the ground, gets pulled over, and a DUI arrest. And dash cam footage from this arrest shows an exotic endangered lemur climbing from the trailer that was dragging behind this truck. And not only did they find a lemur in the back of this trailer, they found a goat, a tortoise, a parrot, and even a wallaby. What are we doing? It was 27-year-old Shane Taylor. And Taylor, during the arrest, warned the state trooper who was arresting him that Miko the lemur, quote, bites, and you might want to watch out. So, absolutely ridiculous. There's no explanation for why it's not like, oh, Shane Taylor runs a zoo, an exotic petting zoo or something. No, he just had a lemur and a tortoise and a wallaby in the back of his in his trailer, and it's Florida, and that's why. So that's my for what for today.
I am giving the NFL a for what because Marshawn Lattimore was fined after giving $23 or dropping $23 in the Salvation Army bucket there in Dallas. He recovered a fumble, and then he ran down to the back of the end zone where the Salvation Army little bowl sits, and he dropped in, or kettle rather, and dropped in the $23. The NFL fined Lattimore $13,369 for unsportsmanlike conduct for the celebration.
That better all go to the Salvation Army.
It better, because Lattimore pulled the money out of his knee pad after recovering Cowboy receiver Amari Cooper's fumble and tossed it in the kettle during the second quarter. The fine is the same amount Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott received after he dropped $21 in the Salvation Army kettle at AT&T Stadium the week prior. Elliott's teammate, quarterback Dak Prescott, received a warning for a similar celebration against the Saints when Elliott picked him up and dropped him in the kettle after a touchdown run. Lattimore is the second player to receive a fine stemming from the Saints-Cowboys game. Jalen Smith was fined for that hit that he had on Alvin Kamara. Jalen Smith was fined $26,000. But I don't understand why the NFL is spending time fining Marshawn Lattimore and Ezekiel Elliott for putting money in the Salvation Army kettle, and you're citing it as an unsportsmanlike conduct. How in the absolute heck is that unsportsmanlike conduct? Please, somebody explain that to me.
So using stupid. A prop.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is.
You can't use a prop.
But
I understand that, but
so dumb.
There should be an exception for this.
Absolutely.
Quite frankly, y'all won't do your research, and you sit here and say you're investigating Kareem Hunt, but you don't look at the video of him kicking and shoving a female, but you're out here fining folks $13,000 for dropping off money in the Salvation Army kettle.
Hey, man, I'm with you.
Get out of here.
I'm with you.
I get it that it's a prop, but there should be an exception for things like this, in my opinion.
And can I throw a quick for what? Just thinking about this off the top of the dome. Whoever it was at USA Today that went back in Kyler Murray's tweet history and found some stupid thing he said when he was 14 and then took the time to write like a 1,000-word article about it. Dude, get a life. What a loser. It's so dumb. And I hate it because Kyler Murray and is probably the smartest move to apologize, but apologizing plays into this nonsense. And it's going to keep happening as long as people keep apologizing for something you said when you were 14. That stuff that bugs me so much What a loser thing to do for USA Today. They got absolutely lit up for it across social media.
What's the dude's name?
I'd have to go back and look, but I know I wanted to bring it up yesterday and we didn't do for what. But it looks like you found it.
I'm trying to find the guy's name.
I think that's the article though. If you press on it,
Scott Gleason.
Scott Gleason, dude, shut up, Scott Gleason. Get a life. Clearly, you don't have enough work to do over there at USA Today to actually write about something productive.
To do that in Kyler Murray's biggest moment as an athlete, to bring that up right then, man, is pretty despicable. Yeah, I mean, did Kyler Murray make a mistake? Yeah, he was 14 years old. There was language I was using when I was 13, 14 years old that I'm not proud of today. I mean, a lot of slurs that were used when we were younger, and you just didn't really understand how they offended people. And I could be first to admit that when I was young in the locker room, I was saying things I shouldn't have been saying, to be honest. But that's part of growing up. It's part of developing into a young man. And for this guy to put this out in Kyler Murray's biggest moment, man, is pretty despicable. That's one thing I hate about journalism. I hate the clickbait atmosphere that we're in. You see it all across the internet. You see it with every publication. Everyone's doing it. It's annoying. And then this is ridiculous. So I'm with you, Charlie. I wish Kyler Murray said, yeah, I said it, and I'm a better man. I don't feel that way now, and moving forward. Not apologizing.
Like how Kevin Hart did?
Yeah, I was going to say Kevin Hart did that.
Drilled for doing that?
Yeah, he apologized.
He did eventually. Initially,
he had that stance.
I really liked what Kevin Hart said. He made, I think it was an Instagram video or something, where he said, I'm not going to apologize because that, you're just, like I was saying earlier, you're playing into this game. And don't do that. That's why they get to keep doing this, is because you're playing into it, because they know that they've shamed you into doing this, into apologizing. Don't apologize. You were 14. We all get it. We all get it. It's okay. You've grown as a person. It's so stupid. Infuriates me.
Yeah. No, it does. It does me too, man. Just trying to steal Kyler Murray's moment. And Bama fans, get over it. Kyler Murray deserves a Heisman. Let it go. Let it go. Swain Event, be right back.
If you love the Swain Event and you want more of the show every day, you can now get it with Swain Event Plus. Swain Event Plus features exclusive, in-depth interviews with former Vols.
She saved my life. I probably would have never made the college, man.
I looked at him and said, Coach, no disrespect. I'm going to Tennessee. I'm going to play in the SEC.
With Swain Event Plus, you can also get access to the exclusive podcast Reel on the Hill with Tennessee media legend John Bryce.
What is going on there with that battle?
Had lunch with some folks over the course of this past week who indicated some inside the program believe that Jarrett Garantano is really ready to take that next step.
So go to SwainEventPlus.com right now to sign up and check out all of the amazing extras that you can get. That's SwainEventPlus.com. Get more.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and LowTCenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
If you're among the 40% of obese American adults, you know that diet and exercise doesn't always work. The National Institute of Health recognizes bariatric surgery as the most effective, long-term treatment for severe obesity. Premier Surgical's 2 bariatric offices, Foothills Weight Loss Surgeons and New Life Center for Bariatric Surgery, have helped thousands of East Tennesseans change their lives and health. Weight loss surgery has been shown to improve or resolve many obesity-related conditions such as diabetes, high blood pressure, and sleep apnea. To learn if bariatric surgery is right for you, attend one of the free seminars offered each month by New Life Center for Bariatric Surgery at Tenova Turkey Creek or Foothills Weight Loss Surgeons at Fort Sanders Regional. Visit our bariatric surgery page at premiersurgical.com for more information. Premier Surgical, expertise you can trust.
You're listening to the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End BBQ. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com.
Hour 3, powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Reinventing men's healthcare. Gentlemen, there's no reason to wait until 2019 to start making changes with yourself and taking your health serious. Do that, Low T Center. Go to their website. Go get your number. Check your number. Make sure you know where you stand. If you suffer from low libido, low energy, mental clarity is not where it used to be, you may have low T. Call the Low T Center. If you're here in Knoxville, the telephone number is 865-392-1388. Location right there in Farragut. Awesome crew there at the Low T Center, and they have extended their services so that way you can check up on other things, including sleep apnea, hypertension. That is Low T Center.
I have a question for you.
No. The answer is no.
It's a tangent. It's an off-the-wall question, but it is related to Tennessee football. As you know, I've been watching highlights of the Tennessee-Vanderbilt game from 2004 where you guys won 38-33. You told me that you caught 2 touchdowns that game.
I'm not proud of it.
Well, it'd be all right. 2 touchdowns is 2 touchdowns against anybody. But my question is, Cedric Houston had 3 touchdowns in the first quarter as a receiver. How much did that bother you?
It didn't bother me one bit. Go ahead and get your touchdowns. Go ahead and score so that way we can throw the ball a little bit and pass it around. I mean, as a freshman, I wanted the ball. I wanted to throw every time. But as I understood the game, and big ups to Pat Washington, who just did a really great job of just teaching us the game, teaching us how to watch film, things like that, I had appreciation for us running the football. Because I knew that meant more opportunities on the outside, more opportunities to catch a pass, break one tackle, and go score because there's a lot of guys in the box. And so, no, man, I enjoyed blocking for those dudes. I really did. Him and Gerald Riggs, I enjoyed blocking for those guys and seeing those guys eat. Cedric was in his last year, and I wanted to try to help him get to the league. And he did go to the league and play a couple years with the Jets. So I never, ever was like mad that we were running the football. Now, I did get mad when in 05 against Alabama when Austin Rogers, Lucas Taylor, and Josh Briscoe was in like the third or fourth quarter on a crucial third down, and I wasn't in. Woo! I think I had a T.O. moment on the sideline. I think I did.
You're like Antonio Brown on the sideline?
Oh, I was hot, yeah.
Did you let it be known, or did you hold it in?
I don't remember. I was hot.
You blacked out?
I was hot, yeah.
I mean, that's understandable. And Cedric Houston, I'll say this, from a young kid who was playing NCAA 04 at the time, Cedric Houston was unstoppable on that video game. I mean, after him and Gerald Riggs, you could run all day with those two, and nobody would stop you. But then you throw the ball on third down to number 1, and he dropped the ball.
Hey, man, he was a stud, man. He was a stud. Adam White says we have to be hurting ourselves in recruiting with no coordinator. Is that why Chaffee Brown went to North Carolina? I mean, how did we let Mac Brown get Chaffee Brown over us? Man. That was a surprise right there. Maybe I do know there's only a few spots available. Eric Gray, I'm pretty sure would love to know who the offense coordinator is going to be and how he's going to be used. But you got most of your class already committed. A lot of those guys are going to sign next week. DR Vol says, Charlie, thank you for bringing that up. So stupid bringing the old things up is what he's referring to. Nick Cannon called out 3 celebrities with their old tweets after they kept harping on Kevin Hart.
Saw that.
Kevin is king. Leave him alone. We made mistakes. To bring that stuff up 4 and 5 years after the fact, I mean, if we stop giving it attention, maybe it'll go away a little bit. Maybe people will stop doing it.
I don't think it will, because people like that USA Today writer, it will continue to do things like this, because it happened in baseball all season long with the pitcher Josh Hader from the Brewers. People, for whatever reason, people like going back and trying to find these old tweets.
That's why I say you got to stop apologizing and start talking about who you are today. Don't apologize. Say, I'm a better person today, and you know that doesn't reflect who I am. That's the perfect response to me, instead of saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry that I did that." No. Right. You were that person then, and you're this person now.
I think if you have a stance, a hard stance on anything, but you felt somewhat differently in a tweet previously, I think, okay, we bring it to light, and then you can explain why you seem like a hypocrite. But to bring this stuff up and wait for a kid's biggest moment to bring that up, that's my problem.
Yeah.
So like Josh Allen is getting ready to be drafted, and they bring up some old racist tweets from him. Now, he does need to address those because he's entering a locker room that is pretty much all black, so it's important. But don't wait until this kid is about to have his moment is all I'm saying. And I felt so bad for Larry Tunzel because whoever released that video waited until the one moment where he was going to be on national television, he was going to be drafted. They waited to that one moment, that one time. And that's what I don't like. Just like with Kyler Murray. They waited until the Heisman Trophy presentation to drop those old tweets. That's what I don't like about it. I think it's kind of diabolical, in my opinion.
Sleazy for sure.
Yeah, I don't like that part of it. But hey, man, if you have a stance that you had an opposite stance a year or two ago on Twitter, and they bring that to light, okay, I think you have to kind of explain yourself. If you were racist, a couple of years ago, and it's brought to light, I think you need to explain yourself. I think you should.
Yeah, there are certainly situations.
There's degrees to
yes,
this.
for sure.
But in Kyler Murray's case, I think that's hogwash, and that's not cool at all.
Yeah, in a case like this where it's something this kid said when he was 14, 15 years old, and he's 20 some odd years old now, get out of here with that garbage.
I want to say this is A. Graham on the text box. I'm pretty sure Probst has been offered college jobs before, right? I don't really know if he's been offered college jobs before. I know he had an opportunity to go to Alabama in 2008. And because of his off-the-field issues, he was unable to go. Nick Saban could not bring him in, and that's why Pruitt got his opportunity. But it was supposed to be Rush Probst. I'm not sure if he's gotten any offers to coach college. Not sure at all. Mark my words, 7 says, man, do not bring up Shane Foster. LOL. Woo, he was lighting us up that day. George says, what about Matt Canada? If I'm Pruitt, why not have that conversation? I think Matt Canada did a good job at Maryland during that whole controversy. And, man, they ran the football up and down the field against Ohio State. They really did. They ran the football up and down the field against Ohio State. It's very creative in his offense. I think it will be a really, really, really I think it'll be a really good conversation to have. And maybe you don't need to bring anyone else with him. And he can coach quarterbacks too. So why haven't we talked to Matt Canada? I don't know, but maybe because it's already done, I guess.
Maybe it's a mistake if they haven't, in my opinion.
What's interesting about Canada?
Talk to Mike Leby, but now you're gonna talk to Matt Canada.
That makes zero sense.
Yeah.
What's interesting about Canada is that there really hasn't been almost any news about him at all. He was being considered for the Utah State head coach job. That got filled by Gary Anderson. And otherwise, I mean, have you seen anything about him, like looking at other jobs?
Nope.
It's pretty strange because I just have to think he'd be a pretty hot commodity. He's a good coach.
Should be.
Is he not? Last I saw his Twitter, he was still decked out in Maryland stuff, and he tweeted at Mike Locksley when he received the job and was like welcoming him. Well, now his Twitter has been scrubbed, and it's no longer Maryland stuff. There's a picture of the beach as his header. But on December 4th, he tweeted, "Great day for Terps football. Congrats to Coach Locks on coming home to the DMV. Future is bright for the Terps."
So it looks like he's just showing some class, but he's not going to be maybe a part of Maryland moving forward.
Matt, I agree with you, Charlie. I haven't heard anything on Matt Canada, but I guarantee you, by the time the new year rolls around, I guarantee you he will have landed somewhere. He's too good. He's too good of a coach, too good of a coordinator, not to have a high-profile job in college football.
Yeah.
Brave Volunteer says, didn't Rush Prope's son play here? There's another tie to the university. That is John Probst. That's his nephew. Rush Probst is his uncle. So, yes, Probst did play at Hoover, play here at Tennessee, but Rush is his uncle. His uncle. Let's see here. What else is on the text box? DR Vol says, I don't care if they are from high school or daycare. As the great Mike Singletary said, I want winners. That's right. That's right. Zale says, Chaney is coming. They are waiting for obvious reasons. We shall see.
What are those obvious reasons?
I don't know the obvious reasons.
They're not in the playoffs.
Obviously, I'm not smart because I don't know the obvious reason.
I don't either.
Well, obviously, I've not been told the obvious reason because I don't know. I don't know the obvious reason. Maybe Zell should share the obvious reason with us.
I mean, if I was Pruitt and I had locked down Jim Chaney, I'd be running through the streets screaming about it, frankly.
And I'd already try to have him in Knoxville.
Exactly.
Rather than waiting.
We will call Austin Price, VolQuest.com during the break, and he will join us as we talk about the coaching search and recruiting. Big week for Tennessee as they make one final push to the early signing period on the 19th. Swain Event, stay with us.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
VFL's Jason Swain and Todd Kelly here with our Men on Football and Smoothie segment. Let's discuss some of our favorite smoothies and how they impact our lives. TK, man, tell me which smoothie comes to mind when you think about playing defense.
Swain-O, the Peanut Butter Power Plus and the Power Punch Plus provide the energy needed to make plays every time they take the field. Then you have the Gladiator and the Hawk, nutrition every dominant player has to have. Bottom line, everyone wants to be a dominant player. Now, Swain, you tell me about the offensive side of the ball.
TK, it's simple. You always score with Smoothie King. The shredder personifies what we are going to do to opposing defenses. The Berry Punch and Activator will light up the scoreboard. And in case we need to go into overtime, the Pure Recharge will put us over the top for the win.
Swain-O, you know I love football and Smoothie King. I'm a VFL, a Smoothie King for life. The Chocolate Gladiator and the Chocolate Shredder with the scoop of peanut butter, oh, that's my go-to smoothie. They get a chest bump all day.
Yes, sir. This concludes our Men on Football and Smoothie King segment for today. Don't forget the Sip by Sip program. Use Smoothie King as a meal replacement 5 or more times a week, and you will feel and see the difference. Smoothie King, the healthy alternative to fast food. Delicious and nutritious. TK.
Don't forget the peanut butter. Yeah, boy.
Gentlemen, when it comes to health and quality of life, there are numbers every man needs to know, including our testosterone number. I recommend going to Low T Center. They make it quick and easy to get your levels checked, and it's covered by most health insurance. Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy. It can raise your cholesterol, cause weight gain, and loss of muscle mass. Low T Center's physicians specialize in treating low T in men. Listen to me here. They know men's health and are reinventing men's health care. Call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service.
JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799. You know what? The holiday season reminds me of SEC football. You need touchdowns over turnovers. So let me tell you about my friends who are ready to help. Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union is ready to help you make this holiday season special for you and your family. They offer a special holiday loan at a very low interest rate and affordable payment to help you make those purchases for your family this holiday season. Oh, I get it. You're going all out this year. You're going to get that car, that boat, motorcycle, or camper for that special someone in your life. Alcoa 10 has the lowest interest rates around. They have money ready to lend you to help you make this holiday season one you would never forget. The process is fast, easy, and painless, and the decisions are made local, so you gotta give the loan experts at Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union a call, 865-977-3118, or check them out and apply online, atfcu.com. Better rates, better service, Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong. ATFCU is an equal housing lender.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Joined by the one, the only, the great Austin Price, VolQuest.com, at Austin Priceless on Twitter. This is his time to shine. Recruiting, well, every day is his time to shine. But really right now, because we are 1 week away from early signing day. Jeremy Pruitt's really first opportunity to sign some dudes without all kind of drama and having to fill a class and coaching at another school and being rushed. He's had time for this early signing period. We talked to Austin Price about that and the OC hire. Austin, a couple guys who were flip candidates don't look like they're going to be flip candidates. Tennessee didn't get a chance to bring in Chaffee Brown, speedy wide receiver from North Carolina. He picks Mack Brown in North Carolina over Tennessee. The remaining targets, where does Tennessee kind of fit in with some of the remaining targets left on the board?
Well, Jeremy Pruitt was by Round Rock, Texas yesterday to see Jalen Ellis. Since we're talking about Chopper Brown, it's just easy to segue into receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll be here this weekend for an official visit. I'll have a story up on him in about as quickly as I can get done with talking to you, Jason.
God,
on the site. And then David Johnson continued on from there, and he swung over and saw former Oklahoma commit R.J. Henderson. And R.J.'s a guy that Tennessee's been recruiting for a while. Hadn't had much traction, but has gotten some traction because they've kind of just been persistent and stayed the course. And he may visit officially this weekend. If not, he'll visit in January. But he said he was definitely going to come on a visit to Tennessee. He's a top 100 player nationally. Two kind of different players. RJ, a little bigger receiver, and then Jalen Ellis, not as tall, but has a little bit more speed. And, I think Tennessee, if in a perfect world, they'd like to add, definitely one, maybe two receivers, depending on who they can add. I don't think they're just going to take, anybody just to take anybody. But if they can add, one, if not two, and then the same thing with running backs as well. I mean, Tennessee's got a guy coming in this weekend, Noah Kane, from IMG. Everybody kind of pegged him for Texas, Jason, but all of a sudden he's kind of more open to everybody, and I think that's a chance for Tennessee to, with a good visit and potentially get him to sign early, a chance to kind of steal one late in the game.
Is Tennessee not having an offensive coordinator maybe affecting recruiting? Some folks feel like it may be affecting recruiting. You still went out and you got Harrison Bailey, a top quarterback in next year's class. You have some really good linemen committed already. You're still trying to get Eric Gray in the boat. You're still trying to get maybe another running back, another receiver in the boat. Do you feel like the mystery of the offensive coordinator is affecting recruiting in any way?
I don't think it's adversely affecting. I mean, I think kids want to know, and Jeremy Pruitt's, trying to do his best to kind of squash any concern. He's telling, he told R.J. Henderson yesterday, it's going to be a guy that can score, that scores points, that spreads the field 3 and 4 wide. I mean, I'm not sure who he's describing there, but you know, obviously, you know, Mike Yursich at Oklahoma State is a guy that everybody, you know, seems to be talking about. That would kind of describe him a little bit. I mean, he puts up points, he spreads the field, runs the pro style, you know, attacks. It's more balanced than people give it credit for.
Correct.
And so, you know, I don't think it's really having an effect, but I do think that, you know, getting someone named would just kind of squash any negativity surrounding it, because right now, you know, there is some unknown of where Tennessee's going to go. Jeremy Pruitt's a smart guy. He's not going to, you know, go and tell, you know, a recruit who he's hiring, you know, because I mean, like, that recruit may tell somebody else, and then all of a sudden it gets with what he's trying to do. Now, I do think, you know, if it really push come to shove and he had the guy, you know, basically done, and a recruit needs to know, I think he might tell him in confidence. But I just don't think that they're at that point with anybody. I mean, a guy like Eric Gray, I mean, he's been up here 4 times this season. You know, I know he went to South Carolina last weekend, but I mean, all signs still point towards Tennessee, and rightfully so. They've done a really good job with him.
I mean, Pruitt has this background as a school teacher, and one thing you can do to seal the secrets of your coordinator, man, you can make these kids pinky promise. You think Pruitt will make these kids pinky promise?
Oh, geez.
Well, I mean, hey, it's a serious question, man.
Well, if that's the case, do you think Jim Pruitt's hiring, you know, his offensive coordinator with the old George Strait check, yes or no?
Yes, no, or maybe. Do you want to be my offense coordinator?
I think we need your guys got to get creative and do a parody of that.
We need to. We need to. We'll leave that up to John Cave Osborne, who does the Gruden
he makes
parody and all those parodies. I'll let him do that. Charlie?
Well, Austin, you already brought up Mike Yursich there, but I'll leave this open-ended. What the heck is going on in this OC search?
Well, I think just Jeremy Pruitt's trying to find the guy that fits him best. You know, he interviewed 3 guys last Friday: Kendall Briles, Jeff Levy, and ironically, those guys are brother-in-laws. And then of course Mike Yursich. And you know, in talking to several folks, you know, Jeff Levy and Kendall Briles, while they are really good football coaches and they put up a ton of points, I'm not sure they really necessarily meshed with what Tennessee wants to get done offensively. I think that, you know, with their kind of self-taught offense, you've got to kind of have people that have been familiar with it to help teach it. It's not something that, you know, Coach Levy can write down on a piece of paper that this is what we're doing. I think it's one of those things where it's kind of, you got to have people in, you know, that have been in it to kind of implement it. And you know, that means, you know, bringing multiple guys and not just hiring one guy. And I think that's a tough ask for a guy, you know, in Jeremy Pruitt, who's got a full offensive staff right now. I mean, nobody's left. And, you know, that would require him to get rid of somebody, and I don't think he wants to go that route. He likes Will Friend. He likes David Johnson. Obviously, Brian Niedermeyer's a guy that's been very successful on the recruiting trail and came with Jeremy from Alabama. And then, of course, Chris Winkie, the same thing. So I don't necessarily think he wants to go that route, which kind of eliminates those two, which makes Yursich the most realistic of the 3.
Austin, do you have an explanation for as why we have not seen Matt Canada linked to Tennessee's search for an offensive coordinator?
No, I don't. You know, for whatever reason, he just doesn't have any traction there. And you know, I mean, Matt's got a good track record, and he'll find the landing spot at some point. But I don't think it's going to be here at Tennessee.
Interesting. Austin Price here in the Swain Event. Austin Price, VolQuest.com. Follow him on Twitter at Austin Priceless. I'm a little surprised we haven't had more kids from IMG. You know, Chris Winkie, that move was made to relieve Robert Gillespie and bring Chris Winkie. And, you know, you look at Chris Progene, and even if you gave 100% credit to Chris Winkie, I mean, Chris lived here in Knoxville. And so I'm a little surprised we haven't had more success with the IMG Academy. Are you, or if you're not, why?
Well, you know, not necessarily. I always thought that was everybody just kind of pegged that because Chris has got some ends there, and it was natural to kind of put him on IMG when you're talking about kind of divvying up recruiting purposes. But I'm just not that shocked. I mean, IMG is a tough place to recruit to. I think you just kind of have to have some natural ties. Again, Noah Cain's a young man who I think is very open, excited to come up here this weekend. I mean, like when Nolan Smith visited from IMG, 3 or 4 weeks ago, Jason, I mean, everybody knew he was never going to end up here. That was more like, it's a good pub because you're getting one of the top 10 players in the country here, but you never felt like, Tennessee is really in the race there. That was going to be Georgia, or if not, it was going to be Alabama. So, with Cain, Tennessee's got a shot.
Austin, as we approach early signing period, who are some early signing day candidates who you think will sign early?
Well, Cain's one of them. Tennessee went and visited Chris Russell, linebacker from Dyersburg, on Sunday. And, I think that, because he's going to officially visit this weekend, I think there's going to be a full court press to go ahead and get that one locked down and get him signed in this early signing period. So I think you'll see, very much the full court press with Tennessee this weekend on Chris Russell because, I mean, if you let that thing linger, it's going to get much more difficult, with programs that need linebacker help come calling in January. And the same thing what I've said about Darnell Wright. Darnell Wright doesn't like the recruiting process, Jason. But yet he's kind of slow played everything to the point where now the month of January is going to be, hell on wheels for him. I mean, it really is because every program that, that's a Power 5 type program that needs help at offensive line is going to come calling for Darnell Wright in the month of January. And whether he has interest or not, he ain't going to like all those phone calls. And there's going to be plenty of phone calls made. So, I think, players like that would, do themselves some justice to go ahead and, get this thing done. I'll be interested to see what happens with Jalen Ellis. Does he sign early? He's going to announce at the Army All-American game. How many of those guys, we've talked about this in the last month, how many kids sign and then keep it quiet until they announce on TV at the All-Star game? I think you're going to see that more this year than maybe you did in year one. And then really outside of that, I think it's kind of status quo with just, the committed guys, Eric Gray. And I think the month of January and then February could have a little more juice in it with Henry To'oto'o. Not going to go till February. Same thing with a guy like Chris Bogle, who I don't think Tennessee really has a shot at, but they're at least still continuing to swing there and have been by to see him each week. And then, of course, Darnell Wright will not sign until February as well.
Austin Price here on the Swain Event. Any talk about possibly Tennessee, Pruitt talking to a offensive coordinator candidate from the NFL? I know Freddie Kitchens was mentioned early in the process, but as we get closer to the NFL season, being over, there's several guys out there that won't be coaching in the playoffs. That includes Jim Bob Cooter, Steve Sarkisian, and also Freddie Kitchens. Have you heard anything about maybe Tennessee talking to those guys?
Well, you continue to hear kind of rumblings that guys like Freddie Kitchens and Jim Bob Cooter are possibilities. And the longer this thing drags out, that chatter kind of, continues to gain a little bit more traction down the track. But I mean, I don't know for a fact that Tennessee's had any kind of conversation with Freddie Kitchens or Jim Bob Cooter or any guys in the NFL. So, until I hear of that, I can't really talk about it because I've not heard that they've had any of those conversations.
Tennessee OC search with 5% means 100%. Austin Price here on the Swain Event. Also, I know you got to go write an article about Jalen Ellis, and we're just keeping you from doing that. So we really, really appreciate
I've got as much time as you need, Jay.
No, I'm messing with you, man. I appreciate your time, and tell us what is coming up there at VolQuest.com.
Well, we've got, of course, as you just teased, we've got the story with Jalen Ellis coming up on the site. Yesterday, had a chance to catch up with R.J. Henderson, the young man out of Texas who's been committed to Oklahoma. He's a top 100 receiver, and may visit Tennessee officially this weekend, if not sometime in January. We've got just basically full recruiting coverage. Rob Lewis has got some great looks at Tennessee's win over Gonzaga, and then a preview of the Memphis game coming up later in the week. It's a huge game for Tennessee on the basketball front. And, of course, we had the chat last night in the War Room. And there's a good little note in the chat about, one Tennessee assistant having a chance to move on to a kind of a pay raise and, a chance to get back closer to family. And he elected not to do so. So just some good stuff you can find at VolQuest right now.
We'll take a look at that, Mr. Austin Price. We'll take a look at that. And before you go, I told you Kyler Murray should win the Heisman. Remember that? Remember I told you that last Sunday?
Oh, I agreed.
Yeah. Hey, man. Had a great season. Had a Heisman moment there late in the season, and Tua was banged up in the SEC championship game. Had a bad performance. So it's probably good that Kyler Murray won the Heisman. It's probably good for Tennessee instead of more and more and more awards for Alabama. Austin, thanks so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, Jason. You guys have a great day, okay?
You too, man. Huh.
I've got a name for you.
Is he talking about Craig Fitzgerald? Is that who Austin's talking about?
I hope so, because I don't want to see Craig Fitzgerald go anywhere. How about this name for offensive coordinator? This is one that kind of just came to my head. The Jacksonville Jaguars are having a terrible, terrible season and could be looking for a new head coach next year, which means Doug Marrone would be in need of a job. And he is an offensive guy, offensive line background, coach at Syracuse, coach at the Bills, coach at the Jaguars, offensive coordinator with the Saints from 2006 to 2008. I believe he won a Super Bowl during that time, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
What about Doug Marrone?
I think the Tennessee offensive coordinator job is below him.
I agree.
Honestly, Doug Marrone should have been the head coach here when I think either we're talking to Butch or Derek Dooley. Doug Marrone is the real deal. I don't know what's going on there with Jacksonville inside that locker room, but Doug Marrone's a really good football coach, and I think him being a coordinator at the college level is below him.
I agree. I think he's an NFL guy. It'd be an interesting decision, but I would at least give him a call. I think that would be a tremendous hire for Tennessee.
Call up everybody, man. Call up everybody.
Yeah, I mean, test all your waters. That's what I would say.
Call everybody. Why not?
At what day do we just say, all right, Philip Fulmer, you're the offensive coordinator?
No day.
Yeah.
Like don't do that.
No day.
Like if we get to Valentine's Day, do we just say, forget it? Coach Fulmer, you're in charge.
Coach Fulmer is the athletic director.
I know, I'm kidding.
That's what he should be doing, directing athletics, not coaching and not doing anything else, but assisting Jeremy Pruitt and him being the coach.
I agree.
Just be the athletic director. That's what we need Coach Fulmer to do. Just focus on that. 865-200-5503, B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. We will take a quick timeout and come back and kind of digest what Austin Price said, taking your phone calls and questions. You can hit us up on the text box. Facebook Live, you can do that there as well. Swain Event, Hour 3, powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End BBQ has a new slew of daily specials for the fall. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the smokehouse stew, barbecue cheddar meatloaf, or the smoked turkey and dressing, which includes sliced smoked turkey and cornbread dressing paired with sauteed Brussels sprouts, mashed potatoes, and a side of turkey gravy. While Dead End offers a different specialty meal each day, you can get their hillbilly chili every day. There is always something new at Dead End BBQ. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End BBQ. The fall flavor search is over.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do? We all should be responsible. But remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
Goes your car insurance. Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
At work? Can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
So we had somebody tweet me about this staff member who had a chance to go to another school, probably get more money and be closer to home, and that is Brian Niedermeyer. And he, along with Charles Kelly, they are the two best recruiters on the staff. Niedermeyer has California. He has North Carolina. He's been doing a really, really good job. And I think for Niedermeyer, Pruitt gave him his first opportunity to be an on-the-field coach. He's the lowest paid coach on this staff. I think that's going to change, turning down Colorado and Mel Tucker. Mel Tucker, he knows who gets it done in this conference. And so that's what happens here at Tennessee. You want other schools wanting your assistant coaches, and you got to pay them more. You got to add on another year to their contract. And Brian Niedermeyer is very important to this staff. Very, very important to the rebuild of this program. When you look at John Lilly, who may be a better on-the-field coach, coaching tight ends during his time across college football over the last couple of years, Brian Niedermeyer is the best recruiter on his staff, him and Charles Kelly. So you cannot afford to lose a Niedermeyer. So really happy that able to keep Niedermeyer.
Yeah, and they got money-wise, they got plenty of room to grow with Niedermeyer. Only make it $205,000 right now. You bump that up to around probably $300K. Make him comfortable.
Shoot, I put him at $500.
He, in terms of recruiting, the dude is more than worth it. Pay him what he's worth. I'll leave that up to the coaches to decide what that is, but he probably deserves a little bit more than $205K.
This may be a stupid question. Does Jeremy Pruitt decide how much his staff makes, or is that like an athletic director?
You get a number for like the total pot, and then you can determine who gets what from that total pot. You're paying Will Friend a lot of money. A lot of money, and maybe he has a different title or something like that warrants that big chunk. But
you had to pay Chris Rump a lot to get him away from other SEC schools. So that's just part of the business. I think for Pruitt, you justify paying T. Fair and Niedermeyer what they made this year. It's not a lot when you compare them to other SEC coaches, but Brian Niedermeyer, this is his first time on the field. Terry Fair, this is his first time coaching SEC football. And so it's a good base salary, so more than 200s. And then as you recruit, as you coach guys on the field and you show that you're very valuable, then you get a pay raise. That's just how it works in corporate America. If you help the company's success, they give you more money. If you don't, they either let you go or keep you where you are. In my opinion, it's no different than coaching college football. So really glad, again, that Niedermeyer is going to stick with us. I guess the next question is what's going to happen with Craig Fitzgerald. And I just don't feel threatened. I don't feel worried. I know the kind of the backstory with Craig Fitzgerald, and it did come out, later, but Craig wanted this job. Like, he called Pruitt. He got in contact with Jeremy Pruitt. He wanted this job. And then we revamped the weight room because that's what he wanted to do. So I don't see how you just could do that look on Craig Fitzgerald's part.
They've invested so much in him. It would be really disappointing if he were to bounce after a year, for sure. But I think I brought up yesterday, Maryland could be really, really motivated because that whole controversy from last year was based around the strength staff. So maybe I don't know. I don't want to make people worried. I haven't seen much about those rumors. So
yeah, I'm not worried at all.
I mean, I do think it's reason to be maybe a little bit nervous. At least I'm a little bit nervous, just because you should always be nervous when your assistant coaches are rumored to potentially have interest or another school be interested in them, just because there's always a possibility of them leaving. Mm-hmm. So I'm not worried about it, but it is a slight nervous feeling, just because you don't want him to leave. Like Charlie said, they've invested so much in him, and I think he's a phenomenal strength coach. You just don't want to lose him.
Let's get to Turkey Man. Turkey Man, good morning.
Good morning, individuals. Boy, it's foggy out here this morning.
It's
what? That's foggy.
It's foggy. It's foggy.
Yes.
I don't know. I haven't been outside yet, Turkey Man.
You still in your jammies, I bet.
No, not quite.
PJ. Oh, well, okay. Well, anyhow, heard you talk about the Christmas tree.
We do have a Christmas tree set up in the studio.
That's good.
Getting into the Christmas spirit, but no, there's no fog where I am right now. It's sunny outside. Maybe that's just where you are, Turkey Man.
Yeah, it's rolling in this valley here. Yeah, it's pretty rough out here right now. But anyhow, that's another story. We'll leave that for Stokes and the weather. But moving on. Hey, did you see where Alabama fans said that Murray would be the third best quarterback on Bama's team?
I heard where someone called in the Feinbaum show, a Bama fan, and said that Kyler Murray would be the third or fourth string quarterback at Alabama, which is not true.
Yeah. Well, that's how we all look at our programs, ain't it?
Correct. They're upset. they're upset that Tua did not win the Heisman. I understand. We're still talking about Peyton Manning.
I'm still laying my wounds.
We're still talking about that and how he got screwed over. But I look at Kyler Murray. I thought he was more deserving of the Heisman than Tua. I really do. So I think they got it right.
Well, I was going to ask you a question here, and then I'm going to get off here and let you guys go, and I hope you have a great day. Question is, a resume can make a person look really good.
Mm-hmm. That's what they're for.
And yes, sir. They could build them up. I was thinking about. I looked at a resume that would have been at Missouri's offensive coordinator. He was in the NFL for a period of time. He was a head coach in SEC. He was a head coach and athletic director. He was a bloodline from a national championship coach. I mean, you can build a resume, but in the bottom line, you got what you got. And I'm hoping we not looking at a resume, we get a ball coach in this deal. And that's all I want is a ball coach.
That's all I want.
I'm only that here, guys. Have a good one.
Hey, thank you.
I mean, Turkey Man does have a point. If you just looked at the resume of Derek Dooley and didn't necessarily look at the win-loss record while he was at Louisiana Tech, while he was at Tennessee, it's actually pretty impressive. I mean, he went Louisiana Tech head coach, Tennessee head coach, worked for the Cowboys, the offensive coordinator for Missouri, has Drew Lock, had Tyler Bray. I'm picking up what Turkey Man's putting down.
No, I get it. I get it too. VFL 16 says, I've been a strength coach for quite a while with some pretty high-level strength athletes. Changing strength coaches is not as big a deal as it's being made out to be. They don't automatically lose all the training they got from this coach if he leaves. The new coach coming in will have a short transition period to implement what he wants, but he's just building on an existing foundation. It's not ideal, but certainly not the end of the world. Well, here's where my opinion differs. Tennessee has had so many different ones over the last couple of years, and it's one thing to transition from Craig Fitzgerald to another dude. It's another thing to transition from Mike Surgeon to anyone, because that wasn't Mike Surgeon. That was Butch Jones trying to be a strength coach after firing Lawson, and that's the problem. So another change would not be good. And I talked to Johnny Long about this, who was a championship-winning strength coach, who worked under John Stuckey, one of the best of the best, and he was like, these guys are behind. They're behind 2 years. They're behind. And so a change, let's say Craig Fitzgerald was here 5-6 years, and then we had a change. Then I agree with VFL 16. But we've had so much instability, we had so much turnover with our strength coaches, a change again right now would be a big deal. It won't be the end of the world, but it would be a big deal. As we're trying to build a foundation, as we're trying to build this roster back, and we're trying to develop guys, not as just football players on the field, but in the weight room. That has a huge part in guys staying healthy and being able to play a full season without missing any games. So Tennessee can't afford that right now. 865-250-503, B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
After an early morning fog, today will be sunny with a high of 45 and a low of 28. Partly sunny tomorrow with a high near 50 and a low around 34. Thursday looks to be mostly cloudy with a high in the lower 50s. Weather on the Swain Event is brought to you by B-Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, B-Dry can help. BDry.com. Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain Event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give B-Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, that's right, nearly 60 years, B-Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. B-Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words: better call B-Dry. Reach out to B-Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call B-Dry.
It's almost football time in Tennessee, which means it's time to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Tommy Bahama, and all those retro logos you love. Don't forget about your game day crew. Plenty of selection for the ladies, the little balls, and to upgrade their tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com. We're here with Dr. Mike Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, or instability, Achilles tendonitis, golfers, or tennis elbow, do what I did and give them a call.
Yeah, Jason, we specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged ligaments, tendons, and joints, including things like rotator cuff injuries, knee instability, elbow problems, as well as foot problems like plantar fasciitis, Achilles, things of that nature, by injecting with stem cells and what's called PRP, or platelet-rich plasma. And this form of treatment we do under ultrasound, so we know we have our target. And it also stimulates the body's own reparative process, and this allows for the healing of damaged tissue. And as you well know, I mean, numerous professional and collegiate athletes, guys like Steph Curry, Tiger Woods, and even yourself with your ankle injury, have been using this form of treatment for years. And so we offer that same type of treatment here in East Tennessee.
Visit them on the web at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in regenerative therapy. VFL's Jason Swain and Todd Kelly here with our Men on Football and Smoothie segment. Let's discuss some of our favorite smoothies and how they impact our lives. TK, man, tell me which smoothie comes to mind when you think about playing defense.
Swain-O, the Peanut Butter Power Plus and the Power Punch Plus provide the energy needed to make plays every time they take the field. Then you have the Gladiator and the Hawk, nutrition every dominant player has to have. Bottom line, everyone wants to be a dominant player. Now, Swain, you tell me about the offensive side of the ball.
TK, it's simple. You always score with Smoothie King. The shredder personifies what we are going to do to opposing defenses. The Berry Punch and Activator will light up the scoreboard. And in case we need to go into overtime, the Pure Recharge will put us over the top for the win.
Swain-O, you know I love football and Smoothie King. I'm a VFL, a Smoothie King for life. The Chocolate Gladiator and the Chocolate Shredder with the scoop of peanut butter, oh, that's my go-to smoothie. They get a chest bump all day.
Yes, sir. This concludes our Men on Football and Smoothie King segment for today. Don't forget the Sip by Sip program. Use Smoothie King as a meal replacement 5 or more times a week, and you will feel and see the difference. Smoothie King, the healthy alternative to fast food. Delicious and nutritious. TK.
Don't forget the peanut butter. Yeah, boy.
If you aren't following the Swain Event on Twitter, then are you even on Twitter? Hit that follow button. It's the right thing to do.
C_Vol65 asks who was my strength coach when I played. That was Johnny Long all 4 years. Johnny Long all 4 years is who I had as a strength coach. Scott Ward says Tony B keeps saying Will Friend isn't a good coach. Tell everyone what you think about his coaching abilities. I think he is a pretty good coach. I think I need to see him with some more talent at offensive line to say he is a great coach or not, but I think he's a good coach. From what I've watched, I do understand the concerns of guys not going in the right places and, you know, the communication issues.
False starts.
But I know one thing. There were more than just one guy calling the offense this year, and that could be an issue when you look at the outcome of the offense and what they were able to do, what they were not able to do. I think that plays a role into it. Y'all know Tony's my guy, but I don't always agree with Tony. Just like I didn't agree with Tony when he was talking about Rick Barnes not recruiting. We differed in that opinion. We differed on JG opinion, Jared Garantano opinions, and we're gonna differ on this one for right now. So I think Will Friend is a good coach.
I get it when people say that, though. I mean, the offensive line was appallingly bad this season. They were a complete embarrassment. And so in some sense, I get it, but I'm also with you, Swain. I don't think that we've seen him with any kind of a serviceable unit yet. And I got to hold out judgment until I see him with something that's not, just sad in terms of the talent level. Because we've heard that really he is a talented coach who does know what he's doing. We've heard so much of that I want to see him with better players. But like I said, I understand that point of view. When you look at that offensive line, it was objectively really, really terrible this year.
I think it's just a lazy take.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't dive into the entire situation when you just say, oh, the offensive line was terrible, so he's got to be terrible. There's a bit more that goes into it than that.
Bruce's defense wasn't that great either, and he's defensive coordinator.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we know he's an ace.
Does that mean he's not a good coach? That's why I don't make those type of takes until like I'm truly ready to say that, because I treat that as toothpaste in the tube. You know, I don't ever want to accuse a dude of not being a good coach when his players stink, and it makes them look worse than what they really are. I saw when Mel Tucker got the Colorado job, he was talking. I think Colorado put this out on their Twitter, and Mel was like, "Man, whew, good players make coaches look better than what they really are," and that's just the truth. Yes, Coach Foreman was a good coach. Spurrier was a good coach. You know, Saban is a good coach. Urban Meyer is a good coach. All those guys are good coaches, but they all had good players too, and you got to have good players. And so for me, the jury is still out on whether Will Friend is a great coach or not. I think he's a good coach, and this is just what I've seen. Like, I've seen him in action. I've seen him teach. And I know O-line coaches and D-line coaches, they always intense, and they always yelling and screaming. That's what you're going to see in most programs. But I just think, for me, it's too early. If Tony can tell that early, then hey, that's his opinion. It's not mine.
I have never been a fan, and I enjoy Tony's work as well. I listen to him almost every day, but he did the same thing with Rick Barnes and judging Rick Barnes when Rick Barnes did not have a lot of tools to play with. Yeah. What tools did Jeremy Pruitt? What tools really did Tyson Helton in some sense? What tools did Will Friend have to play with this year? We love to talk about how we need to overhaul this roster and recruiting. We need more bodies, but then we're quick to blame a coach because he didn't turn these players into an 8-win, 10-win football team.
They took the same players, added a couple freshmen, and they went out and they won, 2 SEC games, whereas last year they didn't do that at all. So I do look at that.
A little bit of breaking news. According to footballscoop.com, their sources are telling them that Dan Enos will be promoted to Alabama's OC.
Cuss words.
Not surprised there.
But that's another school coming off the board that Tennessee's no longer competing with. So I guess that's good.
Yes, I don't mean to change back to the O-line, but Ken makes a good point that perhaps Friend is a good coach, but we can all agree that the O-line was beyond poorly coached this past year, missing assignments, stepping with the wrong steps, whiffing on guys lined up in front of them. And I bring this up because I've heard you say before on the show that, yes, they're missing assignments. Yes, they're stepping with the wrong steps. Yes, they're whiffing on the guy right in front of them. But at practice, you saw Will Friend tell them, teach them to block that guy in front of them, step with the correct foot, and explain their assignments to them. The players just weren't carrying out their responsibilities.
Yeah, the best way to coach is to threaten playing time. And how do you threaten playing time when you don't have any depth, when you don't have anybody to replace a person that's doing it wrong with?
Yep.
Mess up, I'll replace you. Yeah, right. With who, coach?
Walk on.
Exactly. And so that's part of the problem, too. I'm not saying Will Friend shouldn't be criticized. He's grown. Plus, he's making $800,000. I don't care. But I don't think that he's a bad offensive line coach, as some folks feel that he is. I don't agree right now. 865-255-03 is always a number here to the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Appreciate your time today. And Tony has, he had admitted that he totally whiffed on his Rick Barnes take. So want to make sure you give Tony the credit for that, for admitting he was wrong. Have a great day. Peace and love. You know what? The holiday season reminds me of SEC football. You need touchdowns over turnovers. So let